Well, that was a 2.5 hour tease. And if you're wondering what I mean by that, first of all, welcome to the program. This is Golden Days. We're coming to you live immediately following the Warriors falling to the Houston Rockets at home. They were already eliminated from NBA Cup contention before this game, but this all but sealed it as Houston remains in contention. But this was a 2.5 hour tease. And what I mean by that is the Warriors jumped out to a huge, not a huge lead, but a nice lead to start this game. I think they made their first 5, maybe 6 shots. Jimmy Butler is hitting threes, but it was fool's gold. I mean, when if you watch this game, the eye test showed you 2 very different teams. One that had size, one that was balanced, one that could pick and choose options offensively to get buckets. And then you had the Warriors, diminutive, hobbit ball, GP2. You can pretty much figure out in the first quarter of a game if he's going to, be a difference maker, if he's going to be relevant. He wasn't. And, it was just a big fat tease because when all said and done, Houston did what was expected. A 104-100 final that God, I hate to, this is not a sound effect I enjoy playing, but it reflects reality because, yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah, you might be needed tonight. All I can tell you is this. And until Steve Kerr learns this, I don't think there's any salvation for the Golden State Warriors this season or ever again. And the lesson is this. If you think Brandon Podziemski should be playing heavy minutes, if you think Brandon Podziemski should be in your closing lineup,
you are not serious people.
No, you're not. How many people out there that are actually making money covering the Golden State Warriors have come out and said Brandon Podziemski is the 4th best player on this team? I think quite a few have said that. Jackasses. Dude, what are you thinking? Do those people have any independent thought besides just repeating what Steve Kerr says? Brandon Podziemski is not a real basketball. Well, let me rephrase that. He can be a good role player. If Podziemski was playing the point guard position, I think he would actually have some value out there. Brandon Podziemski cannot be in your closing lineup. And I know technically tonight he was not because he got pulled with 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Big whoop. And he only got pulled because he couldn't even hit his free throws at the end. In case you missed the very end of the game, Podziemski's at the line. I can remember the circumstances in terms of whether or not he could have tied the game or what the exact score was, but he shortens 2 straight free throws. The referees even give the guy a 3rd free throw attempt because they called a lane violation. Refs are handing out charity tonight. And then he overcompensated the 3rd free throw, bricking it off the back of the rim. Again, if Brandon Podziemski's closing for you and if he's out there with Stephen Curry,
you are not serious people.
No, you're not. At least not in terms of knowing what the hell you're talking about when it comes to hoops. That does not work. You cannot have Steph and Podziemski out there together. And if you're curious to know, Sai, why are you saying that? I mean, after all, the genius Steve Kerr thinks for 2 years now has been rolling that out there. He's a genius, bro. It's because opposing teams see that backcourt and their eyes widen up. They start salivating like drools coming out of the side of their mouth. They're licking their lips. They're wiping their mouth just because the hunger is real. It's like a shark sniffing blood. That backcourt can't stop jack shit. And yet Steve Kerr keeps rolling it out there like the putz that he is. I'm sorry for calling him a name there. I called him a putz, but I mean, what else am I supposed to say after that? Guy makes $19 million and change to come up with the genius idea of Steph and Podziemski playing real minutes in the backcourt together. Are you out of your mind? Like, what the hell are you doing? Now, incredibly, Kerr always gives me hope. He's a tease himself because he actually pulled Podziemski at the end, put Moses Moody in there, and suddenly you had a semblance of a legitimate closing five. It was Steph, Moody, Will Richard, who, side note, is already one of the team's best players. I think it's a safe thing to say. Will Richard is better than Podziemski, better than Buddy Hield, better than GP2. Yeah. Will Richard is a keeper. Moses Moody should be in your closing five when this is who's available for your team. Jimmy, Dre, Steph. That's your five, not Brandon Podziemski. And Steve Kerr keeps rolling these tiny. See, like even Bubba, my dog's riled up now. Because even he knows this is malfeasance. It's borderline crime. It's not just the Podziemski minutes. It's the fact that Steve Kerr thinks small ball is still a thing. It worked against San Antonio because San Antonio also plays small ball. It works against Utah because anything could work against Utah. Side note, Houston tonight was missing Kevin Durant, Steven Adams, Tari Eason, who typically eats up the Golden State Warriors, Dorian Finney-Smith. I don't think he's even played yet this year. So the Warriors are already playing a shorthanded Houston team. And Steve Kerr, the genius, decides, let's do some more small ball, bro. Things need to change with rotations if the Warriors have any hope. And that small ball shit might have just injured Steph. Because for the same thing we saw in the playoffs last year where Steph's hammy popped after he played over 40 minutes in postseason games, you're rolling him out there with two other smaller players. The physical pressure's beating the guy up. Steph looked cooked by the end of this game. And I don't think it was just one random play that made him look like that. Steph looked beaten up. You don't think him playing alongside other 6'3", 6'4" dudes has an effect? We still don't know what's going on with Seth Curry, by the way. Great job, Tier 1 Media, on giving us that information. Instead, you'll just give us another recap and give us nothing new. Yeah, I'm peeved. I'm annoyed. Because there's just incompetency everywhere, and the incompetency comes from people making a shitload of money. Is that justice to you? Is that right to you? It ain't right to me. And, of course, the Warriors lose another game. They're 500. They lose to a shorthanded Houston Rockets team. Brandon Podziemski sucks. Should not be playing 28 minutes, 23 seconds on this team. That's starting minutes, man. He was 5th on the team in minutes tonight. That needs to end as long as Steph plays, because you have Steph alongside a guy who is worthless defensively and who just is not a legitimate playmaker offensively. Now, if Steph is out for the Warriors' next game, I believe that's Saturday at home against the Pelicans, and Brandon Podziemski is your starting point guard, that might work because that is his natural position. A point guard who's out there to set other people up and maybe do some nitty-gritty role player type things. Not as your two guard reinforcing the defensive backcourt with Steph, who turns 38, who's 6'3", who's never been known for his defense. Not to say he's bad defensively, but physics is physics. 6'3" versus 6'7", that's Ahmed Thompson. Yeah, that's a mismatch. And there's also a considerable weight disparity. There's a reason why there are weight classes in MMA and boxing, because they know how unfair the size difference is. Don't tell that to Steve Kerr, though, because he'll be one in one ear, out the other. And the Golden State Warriors, again, lose tonight, 104-100. A game that was very winnable, a game that, I wanted to see if the box score showed the amount of time the Warriors led versus the Rockets. I don't see it, but if that stat exists, something tells me in a 48-minute NBA game, the Warriors led tonight 40 minutes. Houston led for 8. That would be my guess. But all that matters is the final score. Let's break it down. We're powered by FanDuel. Let's go. Welcome to the program. Again, my name is Cyrus Sotzes, your host for the evening. You can follow me on Threads and Instagram at DogWild. The program on Threads, Instagram, Twitter at Golden Days Pod. I'm also on Twitter, if that's still your thing. A dying platform, by the way. At Surf Journalist. But I'm mostly posting on Threads these days. You can definitely find me there. You can even DM on Threads now. So if you ever want to sneak some info to me, you can do so there. Program is brought to you by FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Golden Days and the Believe Network. And before I get into the ad read, if someone in the chat, I'm going to ask for a favor from the chat, from this amazing audience of Golden Dazers, at least some of you. I want you to, I love offense is saying I argue on Twitter all day. It's hard to resist, but it doesn't mean that I'm actually posting important information there. I'm mostly just getting triggered by just utter incompetent ignoramuses. Yeah, stupidity triggers me. I'm a human being. That's a huge flaw of mine. Forgive me or not, I don't give an F. But going on FanDuel, I'm almost positive the line for the next Warriors game will not be available. And it's not. And the good news for the Warriors, there's going to be some good news I'm going to drop on you tonight. There is some good news. There actually is some borderline great news because help is coming. It's the kind of help the Warriors desperately need. If we get an update on all right, see, I love offense. You can't just, here's the thing, and this goes for everyone. Don't be a distraction in the chat. Plain and simple. I've never once censored anyone for a basketball opinion. I have censored people for name calling, for hate speech. That's the boundary. Follow a code of conduct, please. If you don't want to get blamed, if you don't want to get banned, all right, plain and simple. And if you don't like the host, I'm sorry. Good news is, if you're looking for positive coverage, if you're looking for spin, if you're looking for propaganda, literally every other show has that for you. The local radio stations that are dying, other fanboy podcasts that are out there, they're all saying the things that you want to hear, right? Because the truth isn't always friendly. I get it. Don't expect me to ever change. It's not going to happen, all right? We're going to give honest, hopefully accurate, certainly authentic analysis here. And that sometimes involves not being positive. And tonight, it ain't going to be positive because this was a game that was very winnable. 104-100. They barely lost this game. And I'm looking at the minutes, and Brandon Podziemski getting 28 minutes, 23 seconds just does not sit right with me. There are other players on this team who are better and deserve more minutes, which leads to a bigger problem for 3+ years now. You have a coach who routinely does not play the best players. He plays the guys that he subjectively, in his mind, thinks fits best. There's no scientific criteria behind it. There's nothing about it that you could actually like teach in a classroom, right? If Steve Kerr had a classroom, a coaching 101 classroom, if you will, and someone raised their hand and they said, "Professor, can you explain your lineups?" He said, you know what his answer would be? Well, intuition is technically scientific, so I follow intuition. And then literally any other coach who would be teaching the same class would give you some far more specific criteria, like, well, what are their shooting skills? What are their passing skills? What are their defensive skills? They'd be relying on skill sets, not, well, this guy hustles the hardest. So, and again, the hustle thing is subjective, but I think he hustles the best. I have all the power, so I get to choose who plays the most. That's Steve Kerr for you. And you wonder why he gets so frustrated. Sasha Jones in her chat, Golden Dazer, thank you, saying that Anthony Slater on socials saying that Stephen Curry is dealing with a right quad contusion and he's going to be getting an MRI. That is good news. I didn't think it was a knee. And truth is, a right quad contusion that's good news in the simple reason that a bruise will heal. And your quad is all muscle, man. I mean, if it was the moment you're talking bone bruises, that can get sensitive. But a muscle bruise, he'll be okay. He'll be okay. I'm not freaking out about that. And again, we'll have more information for you as the show progresses. Again, the Warriors' next game, we're going to start talking about good news. And there's going to be some great news I'm going to drop in just a second. But the Warriors don't play again. And side note, anytime you see me looking at my phone, I'm looking at the Warriors schedule. They don't play again until Saturday. And talk about some medicine coming in, some chicken soup for the basketball soul. The New Orleans Pelicans are coming into town. Hey now, hoo-ah! I need a good soundbite for that one. How do we feel when the Pelicans are rolling into town? Do I even have like one? I mean, that's not funny. Is it funny? I guess it's funny. Adam Sandler, take it.
Oh my God, that is funny.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, that's going to be good. Some good news. And so Steph or no Steph, that'll be a game that if the Warriors can't handle, the season's done. I mean, if you can't beat the Pelicans at home, you're not a serious team. Plain and simple. I don't think it's that complicated there. But FanDuel does not have the line for that game. What they do have is futures, meaning you can bet on how a team's going to do over the course of a season. And I love revisiting that because the line for the Warriors, oh boy, does it go up and down like a stock. And in terms of the championship, the last time I looked at this, it was plus 2,200. It still is. That's the odds. Those are damn good odds, by the way. And the odds might even get worse. So you may want to wait a little bit if you're considering putting money down on the Golden State Warriors to win the whole thing. Which, side note, again, I don't think it's a bad bet at all, especially when you consider the fact that it's plus 2,200. Let's see if the wins total has been updated lately. If you bet the under when it was at 51.5 or 50.5, bravo. I don't think you're ever going to see that again. The Golden State Warriors OU for wins not listed currently. The bookies have no clue what to make of this team. That is pure comedy. But again, you can find all that action with FanDuel, the official sponsor, the official title sponsor of Golden Days. And again, coming soon, I'm hoping we have some good leads that we're hoping to finalize. So we can get some local sponsors on board as well. But at the moment, FanDuel, you're getting all the attention. Bravo to you. Speaking of FanDuel, our player of the game it's got to be the Rook, Will Richard. The effort, the defense, the clutch shooting. Will Richard was second on the team tonight in scoring. He's our player of the game. Any objections from the chat? Ooh, see, Kepik here. I will strongly push back on the sentiment that the season's over. I'm not at all there yet. You want to know why? I'll get into the good news in this second. We'll do the player of the game in just a moment. Here's the good news. At 7 o'clock and change, meaning around 7:10, this game tipped off, right? And this was an NBA Cup affair between the Warriors and the Rockets. Warriors are out of NBA Cup contention. Earlier in the day at Chase Center, the practice facilities are located in the gym. And they're below like one of the bleacher sections. I can't remember which one. What do they call the bleachers in Chase? Like modules or pods, or I can't remember what they call the sections. It's some weird name. But behind one of those is the practice facility, the infamous place where you saw the footage. You all know what the practice facility looks like because you all saw that clip of Draymond Green knocking out Jordan Poole. That happened in the practice facility at Chase Center. Earlier today, you had Jonathan Kuminga, you had Guy Santos, interestingly enough, and maybe most importantly, at least tied for most important with JK, DeAnthony Melton played 5-on-5 scrimmage basketball with the Santa Cruz Warriors. Santa Cruz came into town. I don't know why they came into town. It could have been just to practice with those three Warriors players, because I don't think they're playing a game in Chase Center, are they? If someone has more information on that, my apologies for the Santa Cruz Warriors naivety, but I don't know why they were in Santa Cruz, or I'm sorry, I don't know why they were in San Francisco, but they were. And so what I at least am anticipating for Saturday, for the Pelicans game, is Kuminga coming back. We saw Guy Santos play tonight. So that experience was probably just to give him a run because he's not getting many minutes. Guy Santos in tonight's game, 5 minutes and 55 seconds, the standard. He never gets a real run. And they were not memorable minutes either. Just he was out there. That's it. Scored 0 points. Had 2 field goal attempts. One of those was a 3. Did have a rebound. Did have an assist. And did have 2 turnovers. But I don't know if DeAnthony Melton's going to be ready for Saturday, because today's date is we're coming to you live Thanksgiving Eve, November 26th. And they did say they were going to revisit or reevaluate. I apologize. That's the proper nomenclature for DeAnthony Melton's status, that they were going to revisit it on November 29th, which just so happens to be the date of the Warriors and Pelicans. So I don't know if DeAnthony Melton could be active for that game, but this team sure as shit needs him. And if there's any good news that we can be happy about, it's the fact that come Saturday, we might have 2 faces that have been sorely missed back in the lineup. Jonathan Kuminga, whose size, whose athleticism is desperately needed, and DeAnthony Melton, who is pretty much everything Brandon Podziemski is not. And the good news is they at least, I'm not going to say Kuminga has Kerr's trust, but DeAnthony Melton does. So let's hope, let's be optimistic that DeAnthony Melton will essentially supplant Brandon Podziemski. That's best case scenario. Now you have June Adolfo, pure comedy, saying when DeAnthony Melton is ready, Steve Kerr's going to play him at center. Which the sad part is, look, every funny joke is funny because it's got a lot of truth in it. And that's what made that funny, because there's a lot of truth to that. If we one day saw DeAnthony Melton as part of a 5-guard lineup, would you really be that shocked? I wouldn't be blown. I would not rule that out in the realm of possibility under the crazy coaching that the Golden State Warriors routinely have to endure. Let's see if there's any sound that's come down yet, because I'm dying to hear from the head coach. I'm wondering what the spin is going to be tonight. The spinster is going to be spewing some lines here. I don't know if he's going to blame somebody. He might blame injuries. He might put the culpability on things like turnovers. How did the Warriors do in the turnover battle tonight? The Warriors had, they had a lot. 16 turnovers, resulting in 22 Houston Rockets points. The Rockets, meanwhile, had just 10 turnovers. The Warriors capitalized on 15 points off that. So the Rockets win this game by 4, and they outscore the Warriors by 7 in points off turnovers. So if Steve Kerr brings that up, wouldn't surprise me. It's one of the easiest ways to avoid specificity and explaining what went wrong with your team. Just common stats. Hey, we got to stop turning the ball over. Cliches. One category the Rockets absolutely slaughtered Golden State in, and this was expected, considering they came into this game as the best offensive rebounding team in the NBA. The Houston Rockets grabbed 25 offensive rebounds tonight, and Golden State held their own. They had 13 of their own, but they got beat in that category by 12 offensive boards. The rebounding battle as a whole, they lost 53-47. They incredibly tied the points in the paint battle with 42 apiece. Kudos, side note, to Draymond Green for giving his best effort defending Alperen Şengün. I was expecting some Trayce Jackson-Davis minutes tonight, but Kerr's going to be Kerr. We got a DNP from Trayce Jackson-Davis. So small ball does not work against big teams. This is not the first time we've seen this. And that's what happened. The Rockets were just bigger. The Rockets also are giving their second-year guard Reed Sheppard minutes. Incredible what happens when you let a young player play. Reed Sheppard is a baller. Led all scorers tonight with 31 points. That three-point stroke looks good, even though he only made 33% of them, 4 of 12 from deep. But the Rockets had a combination of Reed Sheppard, who was shooting the ball beautifully tonight, also grabbed 9 rebounds. If Reed Sheppard's getting 9 rebounds, what are you doing, Brandon Podziemski? I'm going to call him out because a lot of Reed's points were coming with Podziemski defending him. But it was Reed and just 4 bigs. The Rockets were also missing Kevin Durant. Against Steven Adams was out tonight. Tari Eason, who typically eats up the Warriors, he was missing tonight. No problem, because the Rockets still had Clint Capella, who grabbed 12 rebounds. Ahmed Thompson had 14 rebounds. Shocked to see Alperen Şengün only had 6. That's a little surprising there. But again, I thought Draymond Green actually, he's one of the last people I'm going to point a finger at. When you ask yourself, man, was it just a quad bruise that made Stephen Curry look like that near the end? Side note, I saw him laboring and struggling before the quad bruise. That's why I refuse to think that one little thing did it. I'm going to look at the minutes because I feel like I'm the only person that ever does, even though the minutes mean everything. And Stephen Curry played 32 minutes, 45 seconds. What happened to a 30-minute cap on this guy? Draymond Green, 34 minutes, 16 seconds. At the center position. I know Quentin Post got a run in this game as well. He played 21 minutes, but those minutes didn't always overlap. Jimmy Butler played 32 minutes, 35 seconds. Those 3 players are old. The whole plan coming into the season was lessen the load on them, keep them fresh for the postseason, start playing your younger players. Kerr. Let's see if there's some sound. I'll welcome. I will welcome the audience if you're interested in coming on. I want to show this to you folks real fast. This is Jimmy Butler's buddy, and I promise I'll articulate this clearly for the podcast. This is on Twitter. Ernie the Man is the Twitter account. Again, he's one of Jimmy Butler's best friends. He goes everywhere with him. When he tweets things, I pay attention. And I know he's joking, but he posted this image saying, "Have a nice year." basically waving a white flag to Dub Nation haphazardly. I need to hear what the spin is from Coach Kerr tonight. I don't think any sound has come down yet. Yeah. Here we go. We got some sound. And of course, the sound comes from the Warriors' flagship radio station, who does not use a readily available mixer in the interview room so that they could actually provide good quality sound for both their radio station and for social media. They keep using cell phone audio. It's just the amateur hour everywhere. Anyways, let's listen to Steve Kerr. This is courtesy of 95.7 The Game, the flagship station of the Warriors, who do not plug the microphone into the mixer, even though they can. So crank up the volume on your devices if you want to hear Steve Kerr talk about tonight's disappointing 104-100 loss to the Houston Rockets.
How would I describe
the identity of the team right now?
the identity? Well, you heard Bill Parcells saying you are what your record says you are. So we're 10-10. We're an average team, and I think we have the potential for much more. And it's my job as coach to help these guys find that rhythm that can give us some juice, some separation, some confidence, and so I believe.
Are you folks hearing that, by the way? Because we in case you missed the other night when we played that Moses Moody soundbite, where he basically admitted that the coaching staff never communicates with the players. And here you have Steve Kerr evoking Bill Parcells, saying that your record indicates who you are as a team. The Warriors, side note, in case you're not following the standings, are now 10-10, 20 games into the season. Jesus, we're already at the quarter mark. Wow. We are a quarter of the way through the NBA season, and the Warriors have zero identity right now. None. Can anyone out there tell me what the identity of the Golden State Warriors is as they rolled out their 9th different starting lineup tonight in 20 games? Listen to this part again carefully. Steve Kerr is honestly telling the public his job as a coach is to develop, build confidence. Yet when you hear from the players, they will tell the public none of this is happening. Listen to this again.
The potential for much more. Average team, and I think we have the potential for much more. And it's my job as coach to help these guys find that rhythm that can give us some juice, some separation, some confidence, and I believe in them, and I believe in our guys, our continuity that we've got from not only last year but with Steph and Dre for 14, 15 years, whatever it's been. So I believe in the guys, and we've just got to keep working, and we'll get there.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Not a false alarm. Listen to that again. That was about like worst case scenario in terms of what I expected to hear from Steve Kerr. He's evoking Steph and Dre. He's pretending he actually builds confidence in players and he coaches. Listen to this again.
Identity at the 20-game mark.
How would I describe
the identity of the team right now?
the identity? Well, you heard Bill Parcells saying you are what your record says you are. So we're 10-10. We're an average team, and I think we have the potential for much more. And it's my job as coach to help these guys find that rhythm that can give us some juice, some separation.
How is he helping the players? So the question that was asked here is, what is the identity of the Warriors? Steve Kerr's response was quoting Bill Parcells saying, you are what your record says you are. Warriors are 10-10. And then he proceeds to say he's doing everything. And let me hear this again.
It's my job as coach to help these guys find that rhythm that can give us some juice, some separation, some confidence. And
how? Does this man not realize that a lack of consistency with roles, a lack of stability is the antithesis of building confidence? This guy's crazy. If there's one thing I've never called Steve Kerr until tonight, it's delusional. Oh my God. I got to find a second job. If the Warriors go down, the show goes. I mean, I'm not going anywhere, but we're not making money anymore. Oh, God damn it.
I believe in them, and I believe in our guys, our continuity that we've got from, not only last year, but with Steph and Dre for 14, 15 years, whatever it's been.
Oh my God. What does Steph and Dre in their 14, 15 years have to do with anything other than admitting how old they are? What is this? What is going on here? Oh my God. Kenneth in our chat was saying, I thought we weren't playing the siren anymore. Look, I need your help. You're right here. Actually, chase center. Turn back around and go to chase center. What are you doing in West Sonoma County? You need to be a chase center. Jesus Christ, where the siren's here? What the hell is going on? Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Wait, Kev is saying he can't hear any of the sound effects. That sucks. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on there. I hope it's not a. I don't know what's going on there. Steve, that was look, whoever asked that question, I think it was Nick Friedel. I got to hear this one more time in its entirety. Please forgive me, folks. But that quote was something else. That I don't know how you can feel good hearing that. One of the biggest non-answers I've ever heard in my life. You're starting it out with a Bill Parcells quote. So the cliches are tipping this thing before he even gets into it. He's evoking Steph and Dre and their continuity. They're old. Like that is anyone besides Steve Kerr? Did anyone besides Steve Kerr think that the Warriors had a shot this year, pretending that Steph and Dre were still in their primes? I mean, they're still amazing. Rely on them in the postseason. But at the quarter point of the year, you're already leaning on the old men.
Identity at the 20-game mark.
How would I describe
the identity of the team right now?
the identity? Well, you heard Bill Parcells saying you are what your record says you are. So we're 10-10. We're an average team, and I think we have the potential for much more. And it's my job as coach to help these guys find that rhythm that can give us some juice, some separation, some confidence. And so I believe in them, and I believe in our guys, our continuity that we've got from not only last year, but with Steph and Dre for 14, 15 years, whatever it's been. So I believe in the guys, and we've just got to keep working, and we'll get there.
This identity at the 20-game mark.
X-Man in our chat saying this team is not good, plain and simple. How do you know that? You keep like you have an issue with me talking about Podziemski and Kerr, pretending that they're not the entire problem here. I guarantee, X-Man, you're the same guy that was probably bringing up 23-7, the record the Warriors finished with last year, the final 30 games. And at that point, we're probably thinking, dude, this is a great team. And now you're going to sit here and say, dude, it's hopeless. Stop criticizing something that can't be fixed. Bull effing shit, X-Man. I really hope you don't call yourself that because you're an X-Men fan, because that's an insult to an incredible comic strip. If we're not going to talk about Podziemski and Kerr as the problems, what do you want to talk about? X-Man, floor is yours. What do you want to talk about, buddy? Here's the link right now. Come on the show, Mr. Smart Guy, all right? And come on the show and enlighten me. Right here's the link. Come on the show and enlighten me, please. What should I be talking about? I already talked about Will Richard being incredible. And if there's a bright side to all this, it's that Will Richard did play 28 minutes and 1 second. We actually saw minutes from him tonight. Still not enough, but it's encouraging. He closed the game. That's about the only positive I can really think of. I mean, Quentin Post had an okay night, but there was a stretch in this game where Tim Legler was calling him out for not having confidence in his shot. And that he's too much in his head. He's thinking too much. That's like one of the worst things you want to hear about a player is that that's essentially saying he's lost confidence. And right after Legler said that, there's Quentin Post. The camera's on him, and he's practicing his form in the middle of a game during a timeout. X-Man, I'm still waiting for you, buddy. I'm still waiting. Jesus Christ. The Steve Kerr apologist I'm sorry, man. You folks sicken me because you'd rather just not hear reality. Like you're like too afraid of it. There's a truth. The truth hurts. This soundbite is absolutely apropos. If I can find it.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah, that's. I don't know how else to spin that. People like X-Man. Brandon Podziemski was 5th on the team in minutes tonight. He can't defend a fly. He can't make shots when they matter. He can't make free throws. Did you know Brandon Podziemski is like a career 69% free throw shooter? And you want me to just ignore that in a game they lost? Sure, buddy. Kiss my ass. Alan Day, welcome to the program. How are you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Just frustrated, man. How are you? Happy Thanksgiving, by the way, on a better note, lighter note.
Oh, man, to you as well, man. I'll tell you what, energized sigh is a great rating sigh, you know?
All the time, every once in a while. I just, honest to God, Alan, I don't want it. I don't want to be frustrated. I would rather watch a game where the best players played, and then I could agree with X-Man. Then I could say, look, they're just not good enough. But I'm not going to say that as long as Trace Jackson Davis gets a DNP. I'm not going to say that when GP2 is getting first quarter minutes. I'm not going to say that when Brandon Podziemski is getting close to 30 minutes in a game. I'm not going to say that because there is malfeasance. There is actual incompetent decision-making from the head coach. And folks like X-Man, who's become the poster child for Kerr apologists tonight, want to just glance over that. Like just ignore it, basically. Why? Go ahead, Alan. I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, but I would refute that, man. X-Man is he has some work to do to catch up with those guys at the game. Holy cow, man. Those guys
I needed Sharia tonight. Thank you, Sharia. if there's anybody who's gonna bring the temperature down a little bit, which I need, it's that charming individual right there. Sharia, great to see you. And we'll get your thoughts in just a second. Alan, I don't mean to be rude. Go ahead, brother. What's on your mind today?
Man, it's the apologist is in that local on the local station, man. Until those guys put some pressure on this organization as they are the microphone on what's going on in the Bay Area when it comes to the Warriors, it's really important that they put the pressure on it. I mean, this would not be going on the East Coast. If we were talking about the Knicks, Celtics, you know what I mean? Even the Nets, Steve Kerr would almost be out of the door.
There's a second group as well. You're absolutely right. The media is massively culpable in all this. And I get it a little bit. I was reminded the other night when I actually asked that question to Steve Kerr. That dude is like, what's the word the youngsters love bringing up? Aura, A-U-R-A. Like he has. There's no doubt about that. Like when Steve Kerr is looking at you and talking to you, you can't help but feel good. He's got that power. But if you're going to get into the media game, you have to ignore that shit, man. You have to focus on context, content of words. And unfortunately, like the entire media group down there is just bought into anything Steve Kerr does, and it's sad. But the other group, Alan and Sheree, I don't know if you agree with this as well, is the fans. Like the fans, like they're not speaking up. If the fans were out there saying boo, if the fans were out there saying stop this hobbit ball, like if people were shouting that kind of stuff, yeah, it would resonate. But the fans are so soft. Like the moment this team moved to San Francisco, you wiped out like a really passionate part of the fan base that existed on the East Bay. Like one potential sponsor, I hope we finalize this deal. Like they're Warriors fans in the East Bay, and they gave up their season tickets because they don't want to go over the Bay Bridge to see Warriors games anymore. And that's just one person, and that I immediately can recollect. I know there's a whole bunch of other people that no longer make that trip, and you replace all those fans with the Peninsula crowd, all these techies and all this new money. And they don't even know basketball. They're just there to be seen, man. It's the same crowd that showed up to Giants games in the early 2000s. Like when Pac-Bell Park opened up, it was the place to be. It was the trendy thing to do. And that's Chase Center. That's that whole scene there as well. So the fans are quiet. They don't give a shit. the media is completely just enamored by Steve Kerr, which is insane. And so you have what we have here. It sucks. Shreya, how are you doing, by the way? We haven't heard a peep from you. I need to shut up. How are you?
I'm doing well. I've been working. I started filming again, so that's the only reason why I haven't been back. But I will be back. I'll be in and out.
Good. How's filming going?
Just started the season.
What was your recap of tonight's game? And then we'll get back to Alan right after.
It was annoying, those rotations. And he said that the team is average. It's 10 out of 10, but that means he's average. Does it not? If the team's average, it's being average. He's average.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the results of an average coach.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I mean, that's what I was thinking when I heard him say it. I'm thinking, okay, Steve, then that means you're average.
Well, speaking of average, if you look at the record of this team over the last 5 years, they've been a 570 team. Their record in 5 years has been a 570 team. Steve Kerr's he's been awful. And to think about it, Malone with the Nuggets, he got fired within the last 5 years. And you want to say he matched what Steve Kerr done over the last 5 years. And he was way better. And not to mention, Malone is a former Warrior, if I'm not mistaken, right? Wasn't he an assistant or something like that?
I know he was, I think, a while ago. By the way, Dwight Lauer is saying average and paid $17 million. It's $19 million for Steve Kerr. Just to correct you there. Sorry.
For what?
Yeah. It's the Mike Malone. Look, I wouldn't. First of all, Sharia, is Mike Malone the answer?
I said that in the beginning. No. I feel like he should. I mean, if we had to pick another coach that's available, because remember you asked that question, I said Mike Malone. He's right there on TV broadcasting. Mm-hmm. I don't see why not.
So cushy
Real
job.
Elise, who has his own show, is saying that he was an assistant under Mark Jackson, and I think from there he became the head coach of the Kings, and then the Kings did what the Kings do, right? I mean, and this is where again, like someone in the chat brought up, why are you not blasting Joe Lacob more regularly for enabling Steve Kerr? And that's a fair criticism, but my one pushback to the Lacob critique is always it could be so much worse. Like, I mean, imagine Vivek as your owner. My God, dude, this show would not exist. I would have to do entirely different line of work, dude. There'd be no interest. Are there any Kings content creators who actually make money? I think there are. I could be wrong with that. Forgive me. Anyways, yeah. So the Joe Lacob part of it, I get it. The enabling sucks. I can tell you behind the scenes, he's wanted to blow this up for a long time. But Stephen Curry is, he's Steph. He's the golden boy, and Steve Kerr's his guy. And it's just it's like a package. It sucks, but it's the reality.
I mean, the enabling it starts from the top, and in my opinion, there's leadership spots throughout the organization, from the roster to the locker room to the coaching staff to leadership. There's enablers everywhere, and there's an enabler within the roster. And unfortunately, it may be Steph Curry.
Well, let's get that for later.
But that's for another day, because when you think about it, though, man, I personally believe that Draymond Green is still on this team because of Steph Curry.
That's probably accurate too. But do you want Dray gone? I mean,
yes, okay. Draymond Green, and I would tell you, Draymond Green's been one of my favorite players of the era. I love his energy, I love his attitude, and obviously being out of Michigan, he talks this. I'm a fan of the trash talk. I'm a fan of all that. To be honest, if you look at probably the last 5 years, maybe even more, when you look at all of the dramatic issues within this organization, it's been a tug of war between Steve Kerr and Draymond. When we talk about the cancers of this organization, I believe that both of them been fighting for first place over the last 5 years. Every time you look up, it's something that Draymond Green did or Steve Kerr said, one of them, and you just can't continue to have that. And I know that the Warriors are on a platform, they get the national telecast all the time. They're always in the media place. But darn, wouldn't it be nice to have just a conservative summer when nothing is going on? It's relaxed. The only thing we hear about is free agent acquisitions or trades. Why do every offseason or starting into the season, there's a crash out between Steve Kerr and Draymond? One of them. And then it's something he said something on a podcast. Now he's beefing with somebody, Kenyon
Kenyon
Martin.
Martin, yeah. But
It's
that's not Draymond's fault.
That wasn't him.
Draymond is catching strays left and right from now.
Yeah.
Like Kenyon Martin literally just came out of nowhere on Gilbert Arenas' show, was like, "Oh, Draymond," like, and just called Draymond Green as what do you call him? Like a fake tough guy? I think that's what he called him. There's no need to do that. There was no need for Kenyon Martin to do that.
Yeah.
And look, Alan, I know there's a lot of people who agree with you. I'm not one of those. I like Draymond. To me, is not the problem, and we can have a whole debate about that for another day or whatever. But
I'm not saying he's the problem, but he's part of the problem. You know what I mean? Like, and for me personally, I would have loved to have Poole. You know what I mean? I would have loved to kept KD. And not to say KD left because of Draymond.
Exactly.
I'm not going to say that. But it's just. But it was Steve Kerr in that situation.
And look, even the Dre Jordan Poole thing. Like, the more at least I learn, and I try to tell everyone as much as I know, in terms of what goes on behind the scenes. But the Steve Kerr thing is just it's like a constant stream of new information about learning about this guy, right? Like, there's just layers to this, layers upon layers. And if there's one thing we're coming to a pretty solid conclusion on, it's that Steve Kerr is just a bad communicator. He's not open, right? And think about this. 3 years ago, Draymond Green, and this is the only show that's ever reported this publicly. There's only a handful of people that have known about this before I first reported it on the show, that the day that Draymond Green punched Jordan Poole, that morning, he found out that he lost custody of his son, Draymond Jr., right? And in case you folks if this is the first time you're hearing this, keep in mind, Dre Jr. used to be a huge part of like press conferences. He was at practices. He would actually sit next to Dre, and then one day, poof, gone, right? Yeah. And in case you're wondering why we never see him anymore, his ex-partner, who's the mother of his son, got full custody, and that's the extent of the details I know, but that's what Draymond was dealing with that morning. And Jordan Poole is being Jordan Poole. So using, cracking jokes, right? Just talking shit. And all I can say about that in terms of Jordan Poole is you could have picked a better time to be pushing buttons. Not saying you deserve to get punched, but just read the room sometimes when he decided, to be a smartass. But my whole point of bringing that up is not to absolve Dre. He shouldn't be absolved. I'm just saying, like, he's a human being. Horrible morning. He was not in the mood for someone to call him a backpack shooter or whatever triggered him. And he cocks Jordan Poole. This happens far more regularly than you may think in professional sports, basketball included. There is violence behind the scenes. We've played tons of clips on this show of former players talking about, like, people pulling guns, people waiting for other players outside of arenas to start a full-on fight. This stuff happens. Mm-hmm. But Steve Kerr, what I'm pretty convinced of now is that there were not any there were no conversations between Steve Kerr and Jordan Poole, or Steve Kerr maybe pulling Draymond and Jordan Poole into a room and talking this thing out. Communication solves the vast majority of issues in this world. And if there's a clear-cut weakness that I'm sensing more and more from Steve Kerr in terms of his coaching, it is a lack of communication. He does not sit down with these people. I'm guessing Stephen Curry's an exception to this, but he does not sit down with his players and hear them out and talk to them and sit down at their level from one human to another. I don't sense that ever. And the more I'm learning, the more I think this is just a massive Steve Kerr problem in terms of management. And we're going to have to live with this for the rest of the year. It sucks, but I don't know, Shri, what are your thoughts on that opinion I just espoused?
I mean, I agree. It's been said that he doesn't communicate. He's not a good communicator. KD said that his whole issue was that it was kind of pushed under the rug. Like, nobody ever sat down and had a conversation. If we say we're a family, let's sit down and talk as a family. He said that. He said that on in the beginning of Draymond Green's podcast when he first started his podcast, and he sat down with him. I don't know if he was his first guest or what, but he said it. And then it came up that I forgot who Draymond Green replaced. I can't think. David West. He said that his only issue with the Warriors at the time was the fact that there was no communication as far as the positions changing, as far as him going to the bench and Draymond stepping up. There was like, when he got healthy and was going to come back, nobody said anything to him like, look, you're back, but you ain't back, you know? So it's a communication thing. And even with the Kuminga situation the other day, when he said he was at practice, but you know, he didn't know this and he didn't know that. How do you not know? And that you're the coach. How you don't talk to your training staff? You don't talk to your players? Yeah,
the communication level. And look, people like Genji Gawk in the chat saying, when you're the bigger guy, you shouldn't knock out your small guards. Craig Ross saying this is a crazy take, making excuses for Draymond like he's 7 years old. The context is important, all right? Please remember, folks, these are two professional athletes. Like, these are like the elite of human beings in terms of just physicality, in terms of just people who can do what no one else can do. And I say all that because, at least on the male side, I will not even pretend I know anything about the WNBA, or if there might not even be a difference. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say here is men have testosterone, right? And testosterone, it's a hormone. It flows through us. And with these guys, it's pumping through their veins. And when they're practicing, when they're competing, like, sometimes rage is uncontrollable, and you do see violence between professional athletes. It happens, especially in the NBA. These are actually somewhat fairly common stories. It depends when it comes to the NBA with ex-players. It depends on who you ask, right? Like, some players have come out and said, I've never experienced that. Other players have said, oh, dude, that was nothing. I've seen way crazier shit. I'm not excusing it, all right? I want to make that very clear. Violence is not justifiable, period. What I am trying to say, though, is that life is complicated. Most situations are not black and white. This particular instance, look, a 7-year-olds don't lose custody of their children. So it's a little more nuanced than that. Dre was going through an awful day. His teammate could have been a little more sensitive. Doesn't mean it's okay for him to get punched either. My whole point is Steve Kerr could have involved himself a lot more in that situation, since he is the leader of this team de facto, getting paid $19 million plus to be the leader of this team. So act the goddamn part. If two of your players are fighting, step in there and resolve that shit, man. Don't let it fester for an entire year and take sides. That might have been the worst part. He took sides. And by taking a side, you have created a division in that room. That's what I'm trying to say here. And again, I'm not trying to justify violence.
I hate to even foster that conversation. It's been a while anyway. But I will say my only rebuttal is that there's power, there's leadership and self-control and emotional control. And Draymond Green reaction is a reflection of what's going on in that organization. When Steve Kerr mentioned today, when someone asked about the identity, that's part of the identity. There's no accountability within your organization. There's no accountability, That's what when I look at the modern day Warriors, I look at a team with no accountability, and the way Draymond Green's been moving over the years is a reflection of a team with no accountability, the way, and I hate to even say it about Clay, but when Clay was frustrated, you saw it on his face.
Agreed. Alan, there's so many other people waiting. Do you mind if we move on? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good to go. I can't wait to hear from Armand. Is it Armando
Laura? Friday.
Armando. Yeah, I can't wait to hear from him, man, because we share a lot of the similar visions about the Warriors. Being that I know you're high on the Melton thing, but I'm not very high on that. I'm very
optimistic about it. And look, I'm very well aware the dude has major durability issues. There's a strong possibility the same thing could happen this year for like a week. Well, everything looks good, and then pop.
It's not the durability. Is that what we saw from him was such a small sample size that you don't even know if it's a reality.
I saw enough. I feel good about it, but I hear what you're saying. I saw enough to know That he's legit, but that's just me.
Well,
I don't know.
he's legit better than Paz, but I mean, how low can you go? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
There's a lot of guys that's better than. Listen, when I first had this argument about this team before the season started, I just felt like they didn't have enough NBA players on their roster. And when I look at this team, they do not have enough NBA players on the roster.
You might be
And
right.
that's the
You might be right.
problem. That's the overall problem. Al Horford is not he's not an NBA player.
No, that was a swing and a miss. That was Alan. Have a great night. I got to move on. Thank you, brother. I really do appreciate you. But yeah, Al Horford. I mean, look, Mike Dunleavy Jr. I've been singing his praises a lot, largely because of the second round draft picks, Trace Jackson Davis, Quidden Post, Will Richard. We don't know what Alex Tui is going to be, but he was another pick. But the money he spent on these mid-level exceptions, whole other story. Like DeAnthony Melton, $13 million. Could that have been better spent? Yeah, probably. Although that didn't end up being a Jimmy Butler, so maybe that worked out. I don't know. But Al Horford, I mean, Jesus Christ, he looks like he's cooked. And search less raw diet in the chat saying, bringing up the challenged call on Steph, which was ruled a charge, and then the refs took a look at it. Amin Thompson rams his shoulder into Steph. Even the color commentators were a bit appalled at the overturn. And what the refs saw is Steph moving, but the fact that Amin Thompson lowered his shoulder into him was all the evidence I thought that was needed to uphold that call. Yeah, it was egregious. It was absolutely egregious. Sharia, do you mind if we quickly play a soundbite? Because we got some more sound coming down, and Jimmy Butler usually has some great things to say. Do you mind if we hear from him?
Oh, yes, please.
Beautiful. So we got two sound bites. First one is going to be from, I'll go Anthony Slater first. I don't think these clips are the same. But this is courtesy of Anthony Slater, and then there's one from Sam Gordon, and this one looks juicy because according to the caption from Anthony Slater, Jimmy Butler goes pretty deep into detail in terms of what's going wrong with the Golden State Warriors. So let's listen to it, and then let's talk about it. Here's Jimmy Butler, one of the few bright sides on this team. Side note, tonight, the box score for Jimmy Butler, 32 minutes, 35 seconds of play. He was 6 of 11 from the field, 2 of 4 from deep, perfect 7 of 7 from the free throw line, added 5 rebounds, 5 assists to go with the team high 21 points, also had 2 steals. They're not losing because of Jimmy. I can promise you that. And here is Jimmy Butler after tonight's game discussing what's going wrong with the 10-10 Golden State Warriors.
What would change the most? I think we're going to have to be damn near perfect. We ain't going to have the ultimate bailout on our team, but even when he is on the floor, we're going to have to do our job because we make the game real difficult. As great as a basketball player as he is, he has a really hard job every single day. If he's got to be like the Batman of all Batmans and save us every night, like that ain't what he's here to do.
When you say you're making the game hard on yourselves right now?
Yeah.
I guess what do you mean by that?
Out. We don't go with the scout report where that anybody do whatever they want. Open shots, get into the paint, free throws. It's just sad.
Is that from the beginning of the game, or does something happen that brings out those patterns during the course of play?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't care either. I just think we need to do what we're supposed to be out there doing as players. Like, I don't care what Steve say. It's not on him. It's on the coaches. Y'all can't see, but it's back there somewhere. They write everything up there for us to do, and they put us in the position to be successful. We go over it the day before, the day of. We got to go out there and execute, man. So don't listen to Steve when he said this is on me and he got to be better. Nah, it's on these guys on the block.
How do you guys clean up some of the turnovers? And some of those come with playing a high tempo, of course, but how do you sort of – Monday was a good night with taking care of the ball. Is there an answer?
Just make the first available easy pass. I think that's like basketball 1-on-1 is what I call it. That's what you learn in the 4th grade or whenever everybody started hooping. We just got to care more. But that's not the only problem. That may be one of them, but we just got to compete, especially at home. You got to box out, you got to guard, rotate, all of these things that we say we're going to do that we do sometimes, but most of the time we don't.
Is
surprising to you, given how many veterans are in this locker room?
No, it's not surprising, because I think that a lot of our hustle and a lot of our everything is dictated upon offense. When we're making shots, oh man, we're celebrating, we're cheering, we're doing all of those things. When we're not, and when the game's not going our way, we put our head down and we mope, and then we don't box out, we don't get back, we foul, we do all the bad things. But when it's going good, some people call it front running, but when it's going good, it's all smiles.
Sharia, who do you think he's referring to here?
That's what I want to know. So who don't care? Because my whole thing is this. You clearly care, Jimmy. Steph clearly cares. Okay. Draymond clearly cares. We see Moody cares. We see Will Richard cares. We know Post cares. We didn't even see Trace. So who don't care?
I want to just replay the very beginning one more time, because when he starts going into the whole no one's boxing out, no one's screening, he's being very specific here, and I have some suspicions. But let's hear this too. let's hear this one more time.
What would change the most? I think we're gonna have to be damn near perfect. We ain't gonna have the ultimate bailout on our team, but even when he is on the floor, we're gonna have to do our job, because we make the game real difficult. As great as a basketball player as he is, he has a really hard job every single day. If he's got to be like the Batman of all Batmans and save us every night, that ain't what he's here to do.
When you say you're making the game hard on yourselves right now?
Yeah.
I guess, what do you mean by that?
We don't box out. We don't go with this scout report where that anybody do whatever they want. Open shots, get into the paint, free throws. It's just sad.
Is that from the word, from the beginning of the game, or does something happen that brings out those patterns during the course of play?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't care either. I just think we need to do what we're supposed to be out there doing as players. I don't care what Steve say. It's not on him, and it's not on the coaches. Y'all can't see, but it's back there somewhere. They write everything up there for us to do, and they put us in the position to be successful. We go over it the day before, the day of. We got to go out there and execute, man. So don't listen to Steve when he said this is on me and he got to be better. Nah, it's on these guys around the locker room.
That's great. That's fascinating. Sharia, let's name some names. If Jimmy's not going to do it, why don't we do it? I highlighted a lot of chat comments who seem to be insinuating that Podziemski's the primary guy. They might be right. Sharia, what's your theory on who Jimmy Butler is talking about here, that in terms of a player or players not carrying their weight?
I've changed his name to Not McConnell. I don't even call him Pods anymore. I used to call him Not DiVincenzo in the beginning, but now, and then I gave him his name back, but now I've changed it to Not McConnell. It's Not McConnell, because who else is it? I just named everybody that's doing that cares.
There's one other guy. There's one other guy that. Well, first of all, even before before I name names, I do have to mention this, and this has nothing to do with Jimmy, but I keep forgetting to bring this up. The turnovers. Steph had six, and some of those were ugly. I remember those very clearly. And then Draymond Green had 5. So 11 turnovers just from the two veterans that Steve Kerr relies on 1,000%. Podziemski had 2, Guy Santos had 2, GP2 had 1, and those are all your turnovers. I think it's Podziemski and Buddy Hield. Buddy, to me, again, I brought this up before. I had a chance to look at 2 sets of game film. An insane privilege. I don't know if I'll ever get it again. This is an important tip that I give all of you out there, right? If you want to become more knowledgeable about at least the Warriors, every time the Warriors lose a game, and tonight's included, I haven't had a chance to look yet, but I guarantee I'm going to, when I go back and look, there's going to be a treasure trove of film to look at. The opposing team's social media producers, in this case being the Houston Rockets, there's likely 15 highlights there of the Rockets putting up points. And each one of those highlights is free film study for all of us. Every time the Warriors lose, they've lost 10 games, they've won 10 games. Every time they lose, that's the first thing I'm doing when I'm done hosting this show. I go immediately to the other team's social media channel, and it's mostly Twitter because they for whatever reason everyone's still putting most of their videos there and not Threads or I don't even know if Blue Sky's a thing still. I don't know, but I'm sure it is, but I don't check it. Go to the Rockets. Here, I can do this. Here, why don't we just do this right now? I'll share my screen really quickly here so you folks can see what I'm talking about. And if you do that film study, all right, I'm just going to search Rockets, right? Everyone can see my screen right now. Right there, Houston Rockets. This is their social media channel. And I'm going to skip the post-game interview with Reed Shepherd. There's a highlight right there. There's a highlight right there. There's a highlight right there. A highlight right there. A highlight. So you get the gist. Point is, go do some film study yourself, folks, and you will see that 99% of these highlights, the defender who's failing in their assignment is either Buddy Hield or Brandon Podziemski. It's all of them. It's all of them. And this is now the 10th game. I haven't had a chance to look at this one yet. So 9 games that I've looked at with these highlights, and those are the 2 people that are consistently culpable. And this is why Steve Kerr gets criticism, though, because Kerr is the only person who has the power to play these guys. So, and what Steve Kerr should be doing, in my humble opinion, is not play these guys. And he has that power. Shreya, your thoughts?
And then he puts them on the floor at the same time. What the? He puts them on the floor at the same time. And then in the second quarter, he had Pat Spencer and Pods on the floor at the same time. And I'm like, why are those 2 that size at the same time? But seeing Pods and Buddy at the same time, that's what drives me crazy. I mean, one is enough, Steve. One is enough. But both of them?
And again, Tracy McKendall on our chat saying, where is Seth?
Tracy,
great question.
You and I both want to know.
Like, I don't think we're it. I think Tracy,
a lot of people.
I don't get it. Like, why is no one asking? I know Mike Dunleavy Jr. is not very media friendly. What I mean by that is he does not make himself available that often. I have Bob Meyer's phone number on my phone. I've had his number on my phone for I don't know how many years. He was fairly transparent with media. He talked to us. Mike Dunleavy Jr., I've never spoken a word to him. I haven't heard much bad things about him, but he doesn't do a lot of interviews. And look, more power to him. Like he's I'm not sitting here saying he should be talking to the media all the time, but in a case like this, I would like to know what's going on with Seth Curry. And I'm not tier 1, so I don't get the kind of access that the tier 1 people do. It would be nice if one of these people just kind of did a little digging, just what is going on there? Because the Warriors were literally promoting Seth on social media. He was literally sitting on the with the players. He was a formal part of training camp. What's going on there? I don't get it. He would be an upgrade, by the way, from Buddy Hield. And Podziemski and GP2. Why Kerr isn't fired, aka Quinn? Look at that animated. Every time he comes on the show, he upgrades the look. I respect that. How you doing, brother?
Hey, how you doing, y'all? Hey, Si. Hey, Sharif.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. Hold on, I was putting some food in my dog bowl, so just give me like 10 seconds.
All right, and while you do that, let's play another soundbite. All right. Quinn, you're not going anywhere. I'm going to bring you right back. If it doesn't time out, that's okay. But there's a lot of sound to play, and some folks in the chat are saying, play the sound from Draymond. I didn't know there was sound from Draymond. Let me see if I could find that. Is there Draymond Green sound? I did not see that. Oh, there it is. All right, this is courtesy of Sam Gordon. I love like when Draymond skips the interview room and he's answering questions in the locker room or in the tunnel area where they now put up that little backdrop for Jimmy and other players. It's going to get a little more spicier than usual, right? And so Draymond Green is taking questions again in the tunnel. Not the norm. Oh, look, Kawakami's there. There's Danny Emmerman. Those two are both with the San Francisco Standard. They're both part of Steve Kerr's PR team. I apologize. And here's Draymond Green talking about tonight's loss.
Everything.
Yeah.
Like, how do you begin to fill in the gaps that'll be there?
But can't turn the ball over. You can't give up offensive rebounds. You got to start with that. You got to give yourself, some way to make up all of those points. So start there. Take care of little shit you can take care of, and then you figure everything else out.
The numbers would say, you guys have been a solid defensive team and a not great offensive team. Jimmy was just very critical of the defense.
Our defense is shit. Because it's not necessarily the numbers. Like, how do you feel when you're out there? If it's just letdown after letdown, it's bigger than the numbers. You know what I'm saying? So the defense is about demeanor. So there's letdown after letdown, and it kills your demeanor, it kills your bravado. Then you're just a soft team. So it's bigger than the number. What does the other team feel when you're defending? And right now, they don't feel no force. So even if you get the stops, like, yeah, we got great coaches, we're gonna have a good scheme. But what about the force? You don't have that.
How do you find that as a group?
It requires individuals, all of us as individuals, to take on your challenge. And if you take on your challenge, then we can make the team thing work. But the only way the team thing work is if we take on individual challenges. And right now, we are individually. I know everybody likes to twist words. I said we are individually fucking awful.
How do you feel? I mean,
that was a hell of a way to conclude that. I'm surprised that even more questions were asked. That's Sharia, well, your reaction to Draymond Green saying, despite the numbers showing the Warriors are decent defensively, I saw one ranking that showed them 9th this year in defensive rating. I'll confirm that right now. But I agree with Draymond. The eye test doesn't reveal a good defensive team. And to me, it's not a surprise. Small ball will not equate to good defense because people can just shoot over you. It's not complicated as basketball. Shri, your thoughts?
He's pretty much saying he doesn't care about what analytics is saying. He's in the game and he can feel it. And we're watching the game and we can see it. It's trash. And everybody knows it. And they look forward to playing us. And that's just the truth.
Yeah.
And going against not McConnell in particular, because they know that he's not who he thinks he is. And they want to show him that. They want to show us that. It's evident.
Quinn, you ready this time?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'll always be sympathetic to a dog getting his food. So you're what kind of dog do you have, by the way, before we get into it?
A pit bull terrier.
Hell yeah, dude. Like a gentle pity? Did you train this thing like Killer from that movie Half Baked? Kill or kill.
No, it's actually my girlfriend dog. So I just, feed her, take care of her just like a stepdad would do.
Oh, you're going to be a dad someday, sooner than later, man. When that dog starts looking at you with those eyes and falls in love with you, you're going to fall in love right back, man. It sounds like you're not there yet, but it'll happen. I predict.
Okay. Now, first, Si, you remember I came on and I talked about Steve Kerr's coaching record without Steph. And I got the totals. Okay, so if we take away the 2020 season, when we only won 15 games, Steve Kerr still is under 500 at 60 and 63. So it's not that bad, but you have to think about it. We had KD for 3 years. We had Clay. We had all these stars, and Steve Kerr is still an under 500 coach when Steph doesn't.
And just to clarify, so we're all on the same page here. You're talking about Steve Kerr's coaching record from 2020 on, right? So this doesn't include the 15-win season.
No. This is his coaching career. Period.
That can't be right. He's above 500.
I'm saying without Steph suiting up.
Oh, I see. Okay, sorry about that.
So that's how we. Yeah. I would say that's how we kind of
all-time coaching record, all time, without Stephen Curry on the floor is 60 and 63.
Yeah, if you take away that 2019-2020 season, because if you keep it, it's like 73 and 113 or something like that. I can't remember.
Ooh. That's not good. It's all good.
He's an
Shreya,
average
what are your
coach
thoughts on
at best.
1663 without Steph?
It's not good, and we know it's not good.
I'm going to do some digging while we have you. I'm curious to know what Phil Jackson's record was without Jordan and without Kobe, because something tells me it's a little better than that. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm so glad that you just brought up Phil, because every time an idiot fan tells me Steve Kerr has 4 rings, you can't fire him. Man, Phil Jackson had won 6 rings with the Bulls, 2 3-peats, and he got fired. He won a 3-peat with the Lakers and got fired. He came back, won 2 more with Kobe and got fired again. So all of the idiots who say Steve Kerr is a made man, what are they talking about? We've seen Budenholzer get fired, Mike Malone, Frank Vogel, all of those guys got fired right after a championship.
Well, you look at the last 7 years, and every coach except for Boston's guy, I'm drawing a blank on his name, I apologize, but every coach, with the exception of him and Kerr, have been shit-canned. Like Nick Nurse, shit-canned. Vogel, shit-canned. Budenholzer, shit-canned. Mike Malone, shit-canned. The only ones left is the Celtics guy and Kerr. That's it. It goes to show that that one championship in 2022, awesome, right? But I'm never going to pretend that was Steve Kerr being responsible for that. That's just that to me is crazy. And Quentin, anytime someone ever brings that up to you again, like, dude, 4 titles, bro, 9 titles, he's got 9 rings, bro. Always push back with KC Jones of the Boston Celtics. Has 12 rings. Also has 4 rings as a coach. Granted, I think 1 or 2 were as an assistant, but in those days, teams only had one assistant. And then he took over the Boston Celtics, got promoted, and then won 2 more with the Celtics because he had Larry Bird, right? So my point is, Casey Jones, 12 rings, and no one's talking about him like he's some genius or an all-time great. He's amazing, but he's not in the conversations as the all-time elites. And Steve Kerr, to me, if you're going to bring up a comp, I say Casey Jones. That's just me. I don't know.
I used to give him credit for the 2015 championship because he came with the new offense and everything. But now that I think about it, the more and more I think about it, the last decade, I've seen him coaching all of the mishaps, all of the elementary things that coaching things that he out there doing. Like in 2015, wasn't the coaches of Alvin Gentry, Luke Walton, Ron Adams, and Mike Woods, not Mike Woodson. What's his name?
Well, it was one of the Collins twins was one of the coaches, I think. But you got the crux. You got most of them. Those are the big ones.
Yeah, so I'm starting to give them the credit because we saw what Luke Walton did the following year. And when Steve Kerr let Iguodala and the rest of the team coach themselves, we won by almost 50 points.
Yeah.
I really don't see the brilliance of Steve Kerr. I don't see any, I really hate to see his face when it's on the TV, when he always doing a little smirk with his lips, looking dumbfounded.
I never like that. He's so comfortable. And it's like, dude, are you aware? He's out of touch, man. I feel like he's very out of touch. And Phil Jackson, by the way, courtesy of StatMuse, has a 90-63 record coaching the Chicago Bulls without Michael Jordan. So there you go.
And still got fired 3 times. while winning. He got fired after the championship, after the second 3-peat with the Bulls. So, like I said, like you said, with Steve Kerr, the last 5 years has been mediocrity at its best. So I'm just hoping this is the last year. I'm hoping Steve Kerr keep hanging himself so Joe Lacob don't give he don't be pulling at Joe Lacob's heartstrings and let him back on the team and give him a new contract. I'm just hoping this is the last year of Steve Kerr, because Steph don't have that many years left. At least at this peak.
That's fair. All right, brother. Any final thoughts, Quentin?
No, man. I just want to basically tell you about the Steve Kerr record.
No, I love that, man. So 60 and 63, not include. So do you have the number in front of you if you include the 2019-20 season? Because I do think it's relevant. Like they won 15 games that year, so the record was 15 and 67. It was the worst record in the NBA. They get the number 2 pick in the draft, but you use it on James Wiseman. And someone in the chat was saying you got to blame Bob Myers for that one. Again, Steve Kerr was just as culpable for drafting James Wiseman as Bob Myers and Joe Lacob was. I can read you quotes verbatim. It'll take me just 1 second to bring it up in terms of what Steve Kerr said about James Wiseman, the scouting trip Steve Kerr went on to learn about James Wiseman. James Wiseman was as much of a Steve Kerr pick as it was a Bob Myers pick. And look, we could go into details about that. Myers did try to trade down. No one was interested. That was an awful draft. We could also talk about the fact that the Warriors had the opportunity to trade up 1 pick and get Anthony Edwards, but Steve Kerr wasn't enamored. He didn't like his work ethic and how that worked out, right? That still makes me like that. To me is still my biggest sore spot with Kerr and meddling and his influence. It's like this Warriors team could have had Anthony Edwards as a reward for that 15-win season, but Steve Kerr saw him practice and was like, no, I don't like the work ethic.
Besides, Anthony Edwards got benched for Josh Hart on his Olympic team. So
no, it wasn't. Was it Josh Hart? Yeah, it was either him or Austin Reeves. But you're right.
Austin Reeves.
But you're right. And then after a game or two, Anthony Edwards basically forced Kerr's hand because he was easily the best player on that team. And then he started starting after that. The team, by the way, that didn't even medal in the FIBA Cup that year. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Anyways, Quentin, have a great night, brother. Thank you.
You too, man.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Any thoughts, Shreya?
I'm just taken back by everything because I'm just like, you know what? Steve Kerr doesn't give a shit. It's so clear. It's so obvious he's checked out. He doesn't care about another contract. I think in order for us to get another ring, we have to do something different. We can't do the same old thing because the league is different. So that means bring in someone new. He's not going to get it the same way we used to get it. I'm telling you, we're not.
You're telling me, and I'm listening because I agree 1,000%. I want to show you real quick just these words here that going back to 2020. I'll even share the screen from this article. To go back to draft night, the Timberwolves were very interested in trading out of this pick, said Brian Windhorst of ESPN on his podcast. They were trying up until they were on the clock, from what I've been told, to get the Warriors interested in moving up. The Warriors had their draft pick this year, depending on where it falls, and I think they wanted it back, quite frankly. The Warriors did have Minnesota's pick in the next draft, and that's who Jonathan Kuminga became. So the T-Wolves are saber-rattling, threatening they were going to take James Wiseman, but the Warriors were really locked in on James Wiseman, and then this is the Kerr part of it. Steve Kerr called James Wiseman, quote, his, unquote, draft pick. Spent hours studying film, not just of Wiseman's college games, but even a performance in high school at the 2019 Hoop Summit. Steve Kerr said he was convinced in June 2020 that Wiseman was, again, his draft pick, using verbiage normally reserved for GM, given a GM's responsibilities include making NBA draft selections. Steve Kerr also held a Zoom meeting with Wiseman, a one-on-one Zoom meeting, and followed that with an in-person workout in Miami. Steve Kerr was also directly involved with 8 or 9 other draft prospects, including Edwards. And I'll finish up with this quote. This is from The Ringer. This is Steve Kerr's words. Quote, you just rarely see an athlete like James. You rarely see a guy 7 feet tall who moves like that, with that kind of coordination and hands and character. He was a leader in the clubhouse. And then it was a matter of really making sure we watched all the other guys and evaluated them and evaluated everybody. And the other guys were impressive too. I mean, Ball and Edwards really stood out, obviously. I think the whole league had those three guys as the top three. Everybody probably always says this, but I can tell you without hesitation, James was the top guy all along. And again, it's and Joe Lacob's quoted in another in a podcast with Tim Kawakami saying our entire front office and head coach wanted to draft James Wiseman. So if you don't believe that Kerr wanted Wiseman, that's just a belief. All the evidence in terms of what people have actually said, right? Testimonials indicate that James Wiseman was as much a Steve Kerr pick as anyone else is. And we saw how that worked out. Sheree, any thoughts or reaction to that?
I could be wrong. I don't know because I don't have any proof. I wasn't there, but it's a personality thing. He knew he couldn't control Ant-Man, and he knew that he couldn't. He just knew he couldn't control him. He knew that Wiseman's personality. When I think of him, I think of Moody, just happy to be there. You know.
You're right.
And I think that's what it was.
You're
but
right.
like I said, I don't have any proof, but my gut tells me that's what it was.
We're going to have 3 more guests on the show tonight, and then we'll wrap it up. Julian, your aim assist was waiting earlier. Something happened to his feed. Julian, don't think I'm skipping you. I'm going to go to you next. But aim assist, the man with that silky smooth voice, joins us now. He indulges all of us. How you doing?
What's good, side, bro?
Not much, Barry White. What's up with you? Look at that incredible. Hey now.
Man, bro. I told you what was gonna happen. I told you that Reed Shepherd was gonna fry Podziemski. I knew it. I just knew it was gonna happen. I didn't think he was dropping 30. That's kind of OD, but you know, it's kind of crazy. But I'm a little upset with QP, bro. He has no paint presence, like 0 paint presence. I could see Reed Shepherd grabbing rebounds over QP. Like, I feel like, and then a lot of times, I don't know what this team's obsession is with pump fakes. Like, Pods would do a pump fake. I don't know why. He doesn't do anything afterwards. And then QP will do a pump fake, and then the paint will be wide open, and then he gets scared, kicks it out. So I don't get the obsession with pump fakes if you're not going to do anything afterwards.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Because they're watching Jimmy in practice and being inspired, but not scared enough to follow through with it.
G4M in our chat, by the way, Aim, giving you credit for the photo, your profile photo. That's Brandon Podziemski. I can't see what's next. Is it a railroad? What's going on there?
No, that's just a traffic cone because
that's what I thought.
He can't hold a dog if the dog was just sitting there. But man, and let's talk about how Pod's floater is the most inconsistent shot ever. What encourages him to shoot a floater? Every time he shoots a floater, I know it's brick every single time. Like, I don't know what encourages him to keep shooting a floater. It never goes in. It went in one time out of maybe like 4 times today.
I like Podziemski's little hook shots better. Remember he was doing that his rookie year?
Oh,
where he'd
around.
I prefer those to the floater. He's got no trust in that shot. None. Like every time he puts the ball up, it's just clank. Like it's got that Andrew Wiggins touch. Is clunk, like just ricochet. Did you see those free throws at the end too? What was going on there?
And then they try to help him out and give him another one, and it still didn't go in.
He did. He got a 3rd free throw. Just in case you did not see the end of the game, Brandon Podziemski goes to the free throw line. I forgot to look up the score. I'll look that up right now because I forgot how close the Warriors were at that point. But he gets 2 free throw attempts. They're both just ugly short, like hit the front of the rim barely. And incredibly, they called the lane violation, I think, on Alperen Şengün after the 2nd free throw. So he gets another opportunity, and this one he forces Long to make up for those 2 short ones, and that one just goes whoosh, just it was just ugly. It was just the guy just does not have touch on his shot, and yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, inside. So I used to like Pods, bro, but it's getting bad. But I'm sitting here thinking, what other team would he play on? Because I'm thinking like Miami, he's not playing. He may play for the Hornets backup, but I'm like genuinely thinking, what other team is he getting minutes on? I can't think of one. Can you think of one? Other than just poverty teams.
Again, look, the one Podziemski defense I'll always say is if he's the point guard on the floor, meaning there are 4 great players around him who each can play their role perfectly. To put it in another perspective, like if there's a lineup like the Kings game, when the Warriors played the Kings, Podziemski had 8 assists in that game, and that was the night where Steph sat out Dre, Jimmy, Al Horford, and the Warriors lost that game, but it was encouraging because Will Richards scored 30. Moses Moody, I think, at 28. Kuminga had like 24 and 10 or something like that. They lost, but Russell Westbrook played out of his mind. And it was just one of those nights where at least I felt encouraged following that. And Podziemski, like when he is the point guard on the team, meaning he's the only guy on the floor who's there to bring the ball up and down, back and forth. And there's no one else who's a defensive liability. So whoever he's guarding is going to be the smallest dude. It's going to be the weakest offensive player. Basically, you're hiding him offensively or defensively, and then offensively, he's literally pushing the ball up, and that's it. He's just setting other people up, like an old school point guard, where the mindset is making people around me better. When he's doing that, he's serviceable. I think he actually does have a role. Like I don't hate his minutes, largely because he's not like Ty Jerome, where he has like zero value outside of ball handling and the occasional shot. If it's falling, like he can still rebound. He can still be a pest on the interior. He does have that toughness, at least. He does bring a little size to the table, but it's not enough to get the 30 minutes a night and have starter minutes to close games. And as sure as shit, it doesn't mean he should be out there playing with Steph. Like Steph needs help. He needs help out there. He needs help defensively. He needs help offensively. And Podziemski doesn't give help in either of those categories. Like, so why is he out there? And that's, again, why I keep bringing it back to Steve Kerr. Kerr's the only dude who believes in this kid. Like, that's it. And he's the only one. You're right. I don't know what other teams would play Podziemski right now. I'd have to look at the standings, but the Wizards, maybe? I mean, I don't know.
They got too many guards.
And someone in the chat mentioned that when Podziemski missed those free throws, they were only down by 2. Is that correct? Hold on. Let me confirm that real quick. Yeah, Brandon Podziemski. It was just, oh my God. So see, this just makes it worse. So when Podziemski went to the free throw line, there was 3:17 left in this game. Warriors were down 2. So if he makes those free throws, it's a tie game. Instead, he misses both of them. He misses 3 of them because he got a third opportunity. After the third miss, the Rockets push it back up, and Reed Shepherd made an 18-point pull-up, 18-foot pull-up, and it became 95-91, and that's it. That's it. The Warriors never ever grabbed the lead back. That was it. They never had a shot after that. That's crazy. So those missed free throws were huge.
Along with that inbound turnover. Mm-hmm.
And the inbound turnover. Jesus.
I mean, yeah, I do agree. I mean, Pods is all right when he's actually played less minutes, but I mean, Buddy Hield is terrible too. Like I said, outside of JP and Jalen Green, most inconsistent player in the league. I don't know what's going on. I just knew that last game was a fluke. I said to myself, he's gonna go right back to ass again. I'm already knowing. Like I already knew he was gonna go right back. I knew it was gonna be the same thing again. But man,
yeah, Buddy tonight 0-4 from the field. 3 of those 4 field goal attempts were 3-point shots. None of them went in. I can remember with clarity at least one of those being wide open. And I think there were even 2 of them where they were just prime setup plays for Buddy, and they just clanked. Like they're not even looking good. Like something's just off with his shot this year. 0 points. He did grab 3 rebounds, but that's it. That's all he did.
Man, I'll trust Russell Westbrook right now with an open 3 over.
Yeah, I would too.
Buddy Hield right now, bro.
I would too.
It's crazy, bro. Like
he's got 2 more years after this year under contract, man. That's an ugly one.
And he's always been streaky. On every
Yeah.
team he's been on, he's always been streaky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it, bro. Like, how can you be like? Because in general, he's an actual good shooter, but when he gets in game, like I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't get what's wrong. Like, what's going on? Like, am I missing something? Like, why is he just,
you just have a coach who just plays the wrong dudes. It's just that simple. It really is that. I think it's really that simple. Like for example, tonight, Will Richard played 28 minutes in a second, and he's again our FanDuel player of the game. 18 points, 6 boards, 2 steals. So night from deep, but still made 2 threes, 2 of 7. What is that? That's it's like 28, 29%. So that's not great, but it's okay. But what he also gives you defensively is such an upgrade from Podziemski or pretty much anyone else, that whatever deficiencies you might get from him on a random night, at least he makes up for it with the defense, and he plays efficient offensive ball, meaning 0 turnovers. Didn't turn the ball over once. So 28 minutes for him, why not make that 32, right? Pat Spencer. I know he's not exactly the guy that we want to see out there, but I feel like he's more of a point guard than Podziemski. I think he's more serviceable in terms of that role. He's a better ball handler, certainly. He at least attacks offensively. He's a threat. He only played 6 minutes and 27 seconds. Guy Santos played 5 minutes, 55 seconds. Trace Jackson Davis, DNP. But Brandon Podziemski, 28 minutes, 23 seconds. Buddy Hield, 15 minutes and 4 seconds. So if you want to know where the minutes should go, I'd say A, Pods should be playing 10, 15 at the most. Buddy Hield should be riding the bench. Give Will Richard more minutes. Give Trace Jackson Davis some minutes on a night like this. You're telling me Trace Jackson Davis is a liability when the other team has Clint Capella out there? Make it make sense, Yeah, that's unfortunate. Any final thoughts, Sam?
Yep, and then we got the Pelicans coming up, which they look better with a new coach. They look way better with a new coach. And to be honest, bro, he better play TJD, because if QP in the paint with Zion, that's gumbo.
And Zion, I was about to say Zion is back, and he looks great.
What? So you're sitting here telling me, like, I was looking forward to the Pelicans game. He mic dropped. I love that. Sharia, I was looking forward to that Pelicans game because I thought that would be an easy one. Do you know anything more about this? Like, are the Pelicans now legit?
Well, I watched a little bit here and there, a few clips, but Zion is moving like, a fresh Zion. Like, I don't even know who can guard him. Just hit the way he's moving.
Dre probably. But
that's who will be, but good Lord, how long is he going to stay in the game with fouls?
So the Pelicans are 3-16. They've won, let me rephrase that. They've lost 9 of their last 10. So that's the good news. And I'm just looking real quick at their last few games to see if there's actually. So they beat Chicago at home, 143-130, and then they lost tonight to the Memphis Grizzlies at home, 133-128. I'm feeling okay. I'm still feeling okay about Saturday. I don't see the Pelicans as. Look, if the Warriors lose that game, yeah, full blown panic mode at that point. Full blown, right? Sharia, it's panic time, right? The siren's a real thing at that point, is it not?
No, it's not panic time yet. I don't think it's panic time yet, to be honest with you. I think there's still a little bit of time to figure it out. We don't know what's going to happen with Milton. We don't know what's going to happen with Seth, if he's coming or not. I wouldn't panic yet, but there's going to have to be some changes, some serious changes.
Let's get to Julian, also in Jersey. It's a Jersey thing.
Hello. Good evening. I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
I'm glad that we got some sound bites from Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green, because they said some things that Sharia was on with me last time I said this, when I was examining the way Pods plays defense. And remember I said that it's just not one play, it's all game. He constantly leaves his man at the 3-point line, and he drifts into the middle when the middle is already covered. There's not a missing gap in those plays. And so Jimmy today, when he was talking about there's someone on the team that doesn't stick to the scouting reports, and there's someone on the team that leaves their man open at the 3-point line, that just goes back to what I saw, pretty much been seeing all year. And right now it confuses me that what is that dynamic between Kerr and the veteran players that have that cachet? Because if Draymond's saying the same thing, if Jimmy's saying the same thing, if, like, say Jimmy's saying, I want Kuminga back, he could score 45. Draymond says, I want to play with Kuminga. And if there's a player out there that's playing 30 minutes, is that messing up chemistry? If you're on the floor and you're like, yo, this guy keeps on missing assignments, why does he keep on being pushed into this role? And Sai, you're right about those highlights of every team, because I watch all the games mostly on bootleg, and because I'm on the East Coast and everything, so I always catch the opposite team's announcers. And oh, you're muted, Sai. You're muted.
I was muted. I'm sorry. I was saying yes. That's a fresh perspective. I love that.
Yeah, and so, but and it's not, I'm not even exaggerating. Every opposing team announcers always roast Pods. They always say, go at him. They say that he looks lost out there. I'm not lying.
I believe you. I believe you.
They literally say that they say that he looks lost out there. And it's just frustrating, because you have people like that are defending, like, oh, Kerr is not the problem, Pod's is not the problem. We're saying do something different, and we're seeing the same things repeated over and over. And hearing what Draymond and Jimmy were saying today, I think we're on some teetering mutiny happening internally in that locker room, because I don't know how we can have a consistent message. What did Jimmy say? Don't listen to Steve Kerr or something along those lines.
Julian, let's we got another soundbite. This is from Podziemski himself. And he was asked about Jimmy Butler's comments. So if you don't mind sticking around with us, let's.
Yeah, I hope he said that he's retiring. But
that's not. Here is Podziemski. This is courtesy of KNBR, who actually knows how to plug a mic into a mixer, so the sound should be good here. And Podziemski talking about Jimmy Butler's comments, which we were suspicious of that they were related to him, and he's asked this. What does Podziemski think?
Jimmy was just in the locker room saying everybody has to care more about doing the little things right, and making stops, and not just being an offensive focused team. I mean, do you think there's something to that, where just everybody buying in to do more and hustle and care? That was a word he used.
I mean, I think we all care. It's just obviously it looks a little bit worse because we lost, and we've been losing. But I mean, yeah, no one's gonna bail us out of this kind of losing kind of funk we're in. So we just gotta dig deep. May not look pretty, but that's just how you win.
Brandon, Jimmy was just
that was like the epitome of a non-answer. And look, to me, this is not Podziemski's fault. I mean, yeah, was the comment that he made about someday, taking over, being better than Steph and all that, was that ridiculous? Yes. But is he the one controlling the minutes? No. Any player is going to play if a coach believes in you and plays you. This is a Steve Kerr issue, man. Like, Steve Kerr needs to not be putting this guy in a position where he's top 5 in minutes. He's 3rd in minutes, by the way, on this team. 3rd. He plays more than Draymond Green. That is insane. Shreya, what's your reaction to Podziemski's comments right there?
He knows they're talking about him.
He does. I felt that too. That's crazy. I felt that too. Like
you can see his body language. His body language. You can see it. He's uncomfortable.
He really was. I'm glad you said that. I felt the exact same way. Julian, what do you think?
My thought is, what is the agenda? If the staff knows it, the coach, the players know it, what is the agenda? Because we won last game with him playing 18 minutes, and now you bumped it back up to 28. What are they trying to do? Are they trying to increase his trade value? Do they really believe in this guy? Like, what are they seeing? So I'm just questioning, what is the agenda, and why can't we? Because when Steve Kerr, like what Sharia said, when he said we're an average team, I'm like, no, you're the motherfucking average guy. You're the one that's saying, like, oh, we gotta do better. No, because give us, for example, I wrote in a chat, and I'm being a little facetious but serious at the same time. If we had a coach like Tibbs, I don't think we would have this problem, because we would die on the sword of what our best players are. So, for example, Will Richard, he's a rookie, but he shows you when he gets the minutes, he is a glue guy. Tibbs would play Josh Hart 48 minutes a game multiple times. I'm not saying run someone into the ground like that, but there's no reason why Will Richard, who looks like he just has that kind of stamina and body where he doesn't really get tired because he's long, lengthy. He paces himself very well. Why can't he play 38 minutes in a game where we're missing 3 players? I'm including Melton in that. I'm not including Seth Curry. So we're missing Kuminga, Melton, and Horford. And how are we still playing 11 guys? A real coach wouldn't come into a shorthanded game and play 11 guys. He'll keep his rotation tight to 8 or 9 players. And I'm just thinking, what is the agenda that we're seeing? And everyone says the same thing. Pods is good as a backup point guard, and Curry, we understand how dynamic he is. He cannot play next to a shooting guard that cannot defend because Curry has limits himself. So if you're like Jokic, you can't put Jokic next to a slow-footed power forward. That's why you need an Eric Gordon next to Jokic. You have to understand your personnel, and this is what we mean. Steve Kerr is ruining this team because you're not playing the most critical and common sense things that everyone is seeing, just not the average fan.
Abraham DeLeon in our chat is actually defending Podziemski's performance tonight. The box score reflects an okay performance, but again, his issues are usually not. Well, they sometimes are. And Abraham, don't forget those free throws at the end. I mean, that literally ended the game. It was a 2-point game, and he bricked both those free throws. And the Warriors were never close again, except for the very final few seconds, when it was pretty much over anyways.
And I know everyone saw. Did you see how Reed Richards? I don't know if he takes 25 shots a game, but it seems like he was just willing to just shoot a shot every time he touched the ball. I'm not sure if that's because Pods was on him, but I was like, yo, damn, he's playing
he's been moving like that though. He has.
Yeah. No. Well, it seemed like his confidence was just sky high today. He didn't shoot a high percentage, but that's the kind of game. And I wrote something while the game was happening. I was like, I wish Steve Kerr would allow Kuminga to play like Reed Richards, which is play your game. If you go 48%, 40%, eventually you're going to start hitting shots. You're going to get some momentum, things on those lines. And I think one of you said that Sharia, you said Kerr did not want to deal with Anthony Edwards' personality.
Yeah, no. I don't think he wants anyone that's too sure of themselves.
Yeah, because Edwards, he would have came in and Steve Kerr would have said, okay, well, you're behind Klay Thompson and you're behind whatever other vet that we have, like Ty Jerome, and then you would have had a super athletic guard that people would have said, oh, he's trash because he only gets 15 minutes a game and couldn't prove himself.
Well, and you remember the last game when Steve Kerr kind of snapped? That was a bit of a news story. He took Podziemski out of the game for the entire second quarter because of a defensive lapse.
Yeah.
And I think you both are onto something there. Like, Steve Kerr does have a preference for players that he can be comfortable losing his shit on, right? With the veterans, and I don't think he's comfortable doing that with players like Moody, like Kuminga, Podziemski. Yeah, he'll treat him like shit, and he's fine with that. But he also gives him the minutes, so it's a weird dichotomy there. It's
moving forward. Go ahead, Simon. Go ahead.
Those 2 free throws.
3.
Why not?
It was 3 free throws.
3. Well, I know it's you're right. But why not? I mean, those 2 free throws would have tied the game. I mean, they're free throws. If he can't make free throws and he's not a good 3-point shooter and he's not a good scorer and he's not getting assists, Podziemski tonight, how many assists did he get? Because that's the stat. 2.
Thank you for reminding me. Sorry.
2.
Because it's one of those things again. Remember one of those games I said he only had 1 assist. Don't count that last one. So he only had 1 assist in 28 minutes. His second assist came with 19 seconds left to Will Richard. So he pretty much played the entire game again with only 1 assist.
Yeah, he's not it. He's not it. Plain and simple. I didn't want to come to this conclusion, but I'm there. He is not it. Not in this role. Again, like if Stephen Curry is out, like let's say he's benched Saturday night just to play it safe. The early reports are a quad bruise is what they're attributing to him lagging near the end there. Look, let's say for the sake of argument, and he's going to get an MRI just to be safe, but let's say for the sake of argument, he's out Saturday. Like, I don't like if he's not playing, I don't hate Podziemski getting minutes as a result of that. Like, to me, that's okay. I think they could win games like that. I think, like, let's say it's Podziemski. Let's say for the sake of argument, this is your lineup, right? Let's say it's Podziemski, Moody, Jimmy, Dre, Quinn Post. Or if Kuminga's back, flip Kuminga for Quinn Post. Although we know Kerr's not going to do that. He said the other day, Kuminga has to earn the starting role back. Like, and his correlation was Moses Moody had to do the same thing. It's asinine, but that's Steve Kerr for you. But let's say for the sake of argument, that's your lineup. It's Podziemski, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Jonathan Kuminga, and Will Richard. Let's say that's your 5. That's a pretty good 5. I can live with that because at least the other 4 players are giving you so much athleticism. So defensively, you're locking other teams down. You're getting scoring from these other 4 guys. So Podziemski can actually be the facilitator that Steve Kerr loves. But when Podziemski's out there with Steph, I mean, my God, dude, like I could picture myself being another NBA player looking at that and just thinking, Merry Christmas, like who's going to stop me? Them? That's what's going through these players' minds. Like when the Rockets come to town, when the Pelicans come to town, if Steph plays, anytime they see a lineup where it's Steph and Podziemski out there together, there is no fear, 0 in the minds of these players. They know they can do whatever the F they want. That's not a good thing, right? Like Draymond Green was talking about the defense and the feeling of it, right? You're not going to feel good about your defense ever when Steph and Podziemski are out there together. That is an anemic backcourt. That I can safely come to a conclusion of now. Like that, I'm there. Like, but I still think like, and look, maybe I'm delusional. I don't know, but I still think there's still like the door to me is still open in terms of Podziemski being a traditional point guard, meaning coming off the bench, giving you 15 minutes as strictly a traditional 1. If Steph is out, he steps in, doesn't play Steph's minutes. Like, I'm not saying give him 35 minutes, but if he's let's say 25 minutes and his role is strictly just as your 1, and he's constantly surrounded by athletic wings and bigs who can play defense and score, I don't think it's a detriment at that point. But at least that's hopeful thinking, or at least maybe it's hopeful thinking. But that's where I'm at. I don't know.
Someone made a point that when Pods and Draymond are out there, Pods doesn't serve a role. Maybe that was Armando, I'm not sure, but because Draymond is supposed to be the point or the facilitator.
That was Armando. You're correct.
You can, and he's in the chat right now. So shout out to him. He says a small ball equals
right there.
Ball, injury ball, which he is right. And I know Melton.
Yeah. Yes,
Melton did great in like the 3 or 5 games that he played, but he's still another short player. So I wouldn't, bank on that kind of return to fix his team. But yeah, like you can see in the assists with Pods. When they're out there, he gets 0 assists and Draymond gets the assist. And then Pods becomes this kind of like bailout go-to scorer. It doesn't make sense. And people say that I always have Kuminga's balls in my mouth. Okay, that's fine. But why is Pods allowed to take those screens and get to like the circle and free throw line and take those mid-range jump shots over and over? But a 6'7", 6'8", hyper athletic guy that works on that mid-range jumper, he can't take those screens and take the mid-range with confidence without the coach going to lecture him and take him out. It doesn't make sense. And that's the kind of issues that the fans are looking at and say what Steve Kerr allows in one aspect and does it in the other does not make sense. And that's what I believe is ruining chemistry, making things difficult, especially positional wise. And I don't know what Steve Kerr sees in practice. Sai, you said the other day, he doesn't even communicate with players. He doesn't even know what's going on with players.
Well, you just heard, by the way, and sorry to interrupt, Julian, but in that Jimmy Butler quote where he was actually defending Kerr, his defense was they write it all out on the board for us to read. It's like, okay, I guess that's kind of cool. At least you get a scouting report, but why can't they actually just talk it out? Like that's just so bizarre. Like Steve Kerr seems to have like a block in terms of just and look, it could be a coincidence. Like I said, I used to be Tom Tolbert's producer. I worked with that man directly for a long time, and he rolled the exact same way. Like he'd come into work a minute before it started. He never socialized with anybody. Like he's in the building a minute before the show starts. He's out of the building a minute after the show ends. Like he roll like it's an out of touch attitude is what it is. And Kerr seems to roll the same way, where it just he rolls to the beat of his own drum. And look, if you're living life on your own, great, but you're responsible for a basketball team. You're getting paid nearly $20 million. You got to ruin it for us. It's insane. Anyway,
I would say that if he wants to come into work, pretend to be the head coach, but let Terry Stotts call all the plays and let Jerry Stackhouse call the plays. You can stand at the scorer's table and wave your hand, but let them do all the heavy lifting if you don't want to be that kind of, like a losing sleep at night type of coach, because you're trying to figure out how to make this team work, because it seems that it's his way or the highway, and he's not really trying that hard at his way.
Abraham DeLeon in our chat is saying, did Podziemski make mistakes? Yes. Is he the only reason this game was lost? No. So Abraham, I ask you, because I do respect your opinion, who else? Who else is responsible? I mean, if you're going to say Steph, that is fair. Steph did not have a good game tonight, but at the same time, without Steph, what is this team, period? Nothing. So it's very hard to point a finger at him. But look, Stephen Curry tonight was 4 of 13 from the field, just 2 of 9 from deep. He just was not feeling it all night. The only part of his game that was solid was the free throw shooting, a perfect 4 of 4. Did grab 7 boards, did have 5 assists. Both those stats well above his season average on the year. His assists and rebounding numbers are very low by his standards entering tonight's game. Did have 2 blocks, which is hilarious, but he also had 6 turnovers, and that part is not cool. 14 points on the night for Steph. Draymond, I don't think I mentioned his stats. He did make 2 3-pointers tonight. It was 2 of 5. Teams are just going to give that to him. That's the sacrifice teams will make defensively when they play the Warriors, pretty much no matter what. If Draymond's out there, he's going to get open looks, and he takes advantage of it. He added 8 rebounds, 8 assists to go with 12 points, had 2 blocks, but Draymond had 5 turnovers. Dre and Steph together responsible for 11 of the team's 16 turnovers. And that was the difference in terms of scoring. The Warriors lost this game by 4. The Rockets outscored the Warriors by 7 in terms of points off turnovers. So, but I'm curious, like, you're okay. That's fair. That's fair. But again, to me, like the Kerr, like, isn't that the biggest mistake Kerr is doing though? Is the minutes to Podziemski? Like, that's such a massive faux pas. And the Buddy Hield minutes and the defense of that usually is, well, he provides spacing. Well, so effing what if he can't hit anything? Like, it just, God damn it. There needs to be a rearrangement there. Abraham DeLeon adding Buddy to the Hield. Yeah, Buddy has not been playing good.
Sorry, if I could answer Abraham, the reason why we hearken on certain players or decisions, and maybe Sharia has been watching basketball a long time as well. I grew up a Kobe fan. It's been only like the last 4 to 5 years of the Steve Kerr era where you say to yourself, there's other things to be done on the team with other players. But before, when you had Steph Curry, Clay, Green, Andrew Bogut, Andre Iguodala, me growing up with Kobe and Derek Fisher, Kobe, Trevor Ariza, Pau Gasol, Lamar Odom. You knew who your players were. You knew the minutes that they should get. And whether you win or lose, you ride or die with those players. And the analysis would be, okay, what do the players that we know are playing should do better in the game? What can they change? It wasn't like, oh, hey, this person on the bench should be getting more minutes, or this person that got DNP, they should be in this lineup, or we should have these 5. We knew who we were riding or die with. And the last, besides the championship ring, the last, 2022, we don't know who the players are. It's not set in stone. It's inconsistent. And the fans, the media, and everybody's saying, hey, you have other lineups you can go to. You have other better players, and we're not seeing it. So that's my frustration, is if we were 10-10 and we knew who our main 6 guys were, starting 6-man and whoever on the bench, I would be okay with that. But the inconsistent and us saying, hey, you have like Will Richard. Will Richard has proven that he should get minutes more than Potts, and give us that. Have that solidified, and then we won't complain about, hey, you're doing the wrong thing. If we lose, we lose, but at least we're losing with the players that we know that should be out there, and that's all I have to say. So
you had plenty
I
to say.
agree.
Yeah, he was on fire. That was Julian was just spitting tonight. That was awesome. Sharia, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? What's the plan?
Oh, just going to my mother-in-law's house.
Is it close?
About 25 minutes away. We're there every Sunday, so family.
Exactly.
That's basically it.
Babysitter.
No, just family and just catching up on basketball, what I missed while I was working. So
I'm just curious if I think we'll go back live Friday. I was just debating in my head if I stay home because my Thanksgiving invite's a good 2+ hours away. I don't know if I want to do that. But at the same time, the idea of just watching football and just having my good old glass buddy next to me on one side and then my puppy on the other side and just watching football all day, vegging, that sounds like a pretty nice idea too. We'll be live. Well, I think I'm going to do one show before Saturday because one topic I want to bring up, Sheree, I don't know if you're like at this level of a basketball junkie, but George Karl, the Hall of Fame coach, is who's been retired for a while now, came out the other day on social media just a few days ago, and I thought he posted something that was very thought-provoking in basketball terms. And he was basically giving an homage to Chris Paul as the last true point guard. Basically, like that Chris Paul is bookending 50 years of the traditional point guard, and he's it. And I've been saying that on this show for a while now too, that the word point and the word guard have to be separate in today's NBA. Meaning you could have a point space guard, you could have a point space forward, you could have a point space center, but having a point guard, like the traditional type, it's a detriment in today's NBA. Like if you're meaning like you can't just be someone who facilitates. You can't be someone out there who does nothing except pass, dribble, and you're just kind of like average at everything else. Like that's not gonna fly. Like even if you're a decent shooter and a so-so scorer, like I think Chris Paul is like a career 15 points a game type guy. That no longer works in today's game. It's just too big. It's too athletic.
I was gonna say.
And and I'm curious to know what your thoughts are about that, because what George Karl wrote, I wholeheartedly agree with it. I've been saying that for years.
It's too big and it's too athletic, like you said. And there's not many left anyway. I think for the most part, you have look at Draymond. And
here's the thing, and this is why I want to do like a whole show on this, because Genji Gok, we're not doing it tonight, obviously, but Genji Gok brings up a good point. Well, what about Jalen Brunson? And my pushback to that is Jalen Brunson scores like a shooting guard. Like Jalen Brunson is the guy as not just the facilitator, but as a scorer. Steve Nash was not typically your number one scorer. He could score. He could space the floor because he was a good three-point shooter as well. But Steve Nash today, I mean, he'd be razzling and dazzling. But and keep in mind, too, none of Steve Nash's teams ever went to the NBA Finals either. My point is Jalen Brunson does kind of resemble like Mark Jackson a bit, except if Mark Jackson could put up 25 points a night. And I don't think Mark Jackson was ever doing that. So it's interesting. It's an interesting topic, and I'd love to have a show discussing that soon, because and primarily because you look at the Warriors, and Steph is not a traditional point guard either. He's one of the greatest scorers ever, the greatest three-point shooter ever. But Brandon Podziemski, yeah, like that, he kind of fits a traditional point guard. Ty Jerome, when he was on this team, who some people probably still love insanely, traditional point guard. Like that does not work. That makes you a liability as a basketball team in 2025. Anyways,
well, look at Shepherd. Look at Shepherd and look at Rawlings.
Exactly. Like Reed Shepherd was not an elite three-point shooter. Reed Shepherd is shooting 50% from deep. I think it's right around there. Hold on, I can find that real fast because I saw that number the other day and I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, Reed Shepherd's doing what?
Well, they've given him the green light. They've told him to shoot. If he's open to shoot, they've empowered him. See, that's what happens when you empower your players.
Yes. And Ime Udoka, I feel like is a perfect coach for a team with young players. Reed Shepherd on the year, 47.1% from deep. God damn. That's a good clip. That's a damn good clip. Are you ready for Shardoll? So on that note, before we bring Shardoll in, I want to remind people, because what do they call the day after Thanksgiving? Is it Black Friday? It's usually I'm never engaged in that madness. I watch those clips every year of the people like rushing stores, and it's insanity. Do you do that, Sheree? I'm sorry if I'm judging.
No, absolutely not.
That's crazy. And so you don't have to do that if you're looking for a gift idea for the Warriors fan in your life. We have a gift store on our YouTube channel. And if you're looking again for anything cheap, from like, a mug, just a basic $15 t-shirt that has the old school Warriors We Believe logo on it. Nick Fensky, a diehard Golden Dazer, dear friend of the show, thank you for your support always, was mentioning or suggesting that I should make a shirt that has Steve Kerr as the socialist tinkerer. I could do all that stuff. But the point is, right now we have a lot of great stuff there. Please go check it out. It is literally on our YouTube channel, or this QR code right here. You can click on this as well if you're watching the show on a bigger screen and not on your phone, where these QR codes actually matter. Click on that. The gift shop is open. Support the program, and I promise you, quality-wise, even cost-wise, we brought the price down on a lot of stuff. You will appreciate it, and you get 10% off if you use the promo code DAYS. And this is where Shardoll has been a huge service for this show, because Shardoll can explain to all of you how to properly spell the days in Golden Days.
Golden Days in reference to the Matthew McConaughey movie Dazed and Confused.
There you go. That's how you spell it. And Shardoll, we actually have you live. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Sai? I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel. I love all your content and videos on the platform.
Are you still in Mendocino? Are you back? What's going on there?
I just came back yesterday.
What was your Mendocino experience? Sharia, have you been to California, Sharia?
I have.
Have you been to Mendocino, like the true?
No.
Okay.
Just Santa
Monica. I had a great time in Mendocino. I seen in Point Arena. That's a small little coastal city in Mendocino. That's where we stayed.
That's one of my secret surf. Well, it's not secret, but it's one of my little hidden gems of a surf spot. Did you see the little pier out there?
I saw the pier. It was beautiful.
Were there surfers out that day or no? It depends on.
I saw some surfers out there.
Yeah, so if anybody out there ever wants to stalk me, that's one of the spots where you could probably track me down. Point Arena. It's so far out there that I don't mind really putting it on blast.
There was a picture on Google. If you went, the Macklin Celebrini, RJ Celebrini, and his brother and his dog, they had a little photo of when they were hiking up in Mendocino. It was kind of very beautiful. It was Macklin's three brothers, Charlie Celebrini, and then the dog.
What kind of dog?
Very beautiful. I don't know what dog it was, but it was probably like, I don't know the breed, but it was a very beautiful photo.
What did it look like? Like a lab, a retriever, like a
lab?
Lab.
Gotcha.
Those are great family dogs, man. Good stuff. So you had a good time?
I had a great time.
Beautiful. What'd you think about tonight's game, Shardoll?
As the Houston Rockets take down the Warriors 104-100 from Chase Center, the Warriors had so many chances to win this basketball game today that they failed in every opportunity that was given to them. Like, they could easily have single-handedly could have won this game, and they didn't do it. And Podziemski missed the free throws. And that was the reason why they lost.
Single-handedly, right? Like no other reason. That was it.
And my cousin is a big Warriors fan, and she was watching the game with me in the living room. And she was fed up with, like, the game was over when it was 102-100. I thought that the Warriors had a chance of winning because the Warriors made that three. And after that point, I thought the game was over because there was no way the Warriors were going to make a comeback and win the game.
Yeah, how's that going to
happen? There was like 5 tenths. They were like less than there were 5-10 seconds left in the game, and then the Warriors couldn't win the game.
Shardoll, what did you do in Mendocino? Did you go like wine tasting? Did you visit some weed farms? What did you do?
I went wine tasting.
Beautiful. What kind of wine? Do you remember?
Chardonnay.
So you like the light stuff, huh? You like the
I
sweet
like the
stuff?
light stuff, the sweet stuff, the light stuff.
Have you gone back to Big Al's?
Not yet.
All right, you're gonna be my account executive. You're gonna get that as a sponsor, right?
I'm gonna get them as a sponsor.
You're the
for
closer,
show.
dude. Close that deal.
I'm gonna close out the deal.
And why didn't you remind me about the music? Like we've gone this long and there's no music playing. Shardoll, we have music just for you. There we go. We got the beats going now. Missed out on that. Shardoll, you're rusty. Trip to Mendo kind of softened you a little bit there, buddy.
I love Mendocino.
Teasing, dude.
I love going to Mendocino.
Beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. Yeah. So you went
And
to Port
we stayed
Yeah.
we stayed at the Coast Guard House in Point Arena in Mendocino.
Beautiful. Good stuff. Just you and the family?
Just me, my mom and my dad, my two cousins, my aunt and my uncle.
Oh, it was a big family trip. All right.
Seven people.
One car?
One car.
Like a minivan? Like what kind of car are we talking about here?
Yeah, we got a Ford Expedition, and then we could fit 7 people in there.
All right, good stuff. Beautiful. Do you think the Warriors are going to be okay? They're 10-10.
The Golden State Warriors are going to be okay.
Sharia, does that make you feel better?
I think people are getting a little bit I think people are getting a little bit paranoid about this whole thing. I think the Warriors are going to be completely fine.
So you think people are just panicking?
They're just Warrior fans are just panicking. They're like
overreacting.
They're overreacting to a situation that's going to be 100% fine.
Making a big deal out of nothing.
Making a big deal out of nothing.
Shardoll, I love you, man. Give us some final thoughts so we can wrap it up.
Hey, Shuri, it's always great to have you on the show.
Oh, you too, Shardoll.
And viewers, don't get on size side. Because if you irritate Sai can get off. He has that sticky finger that he can press that ban button, and then you're gone.
I don't like
you get out.
Only if you're an absolute dick. That's the only time I'm doing
No,
that.
I love that you're the host of the show. You have the power to do anything you want.
I don't like that though. I've never liked abusing
No, you're
power.
the host. You're the host of the show, right? You can do whatever you want.
I just don't want distraction.
If you want to take,
right? I'm a
you have
human being, and if you're going to be trolling, sometimes I'm gonna take the bait, and it makes for entertaining content, but it also can be too much, right? So
yeah, but you have to.
If you're a baiter, if you're
the host of the show, and then somebody is coming in and being hostile in the chat, and then you have to take care of that person, you have to do whatever you have to do. You're the host of Golden Days. Come on, man.
Sure, you're a single man, correct?
I'm a single right now.
How was the single scene in Mendo? I'm guessing quiet, but you also went to winery, so I don't know.
Yeah, it was very quiet.
Yeah, it's not exactly a hopping scene for picking up the ladies or guys, depending on your taste. I hear you.
Yeah. So I had a great time.
Sharia, I don't know if you know this, and Shardoll, I'm pretty sure you do. And if you don't know this, I'm guessing you felt it. Here in the Bay Area, Sharia, it's a miserable scene for single men. Complete opposite for women, because I saw a story just recently that updated the demographics, and it is 55-45 men to women here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And Shardoll, as a single man, especially you're in the South Bay, you're close to San Jose, where the tech sector is really creating this imbalance. Shardoll, you feel that, right?
I feel that.
It sucks, doesn't it?
It sucks a lot.
But Sharia, if you were here and you were single, it'd be good for you, right?
I don't know, because I'm married. So I know. My brain doesn't even switch to that.
I hear. That's why I prefaced it with if you were single. But yeah, I follow. I feel you. You get it, Sharia.
Hey, Sharia, I have something for you. In my best Barry White voice.
Oh.
Hey, baby. How you doing tonight?
Okay, that's enough. Okay,
it's really pretty. It's really nice to see you.
Shardoll, that was funny. Final thoughts on the Warriors, Shardoll.
But I have a nice voice. I mean, Sharia likes my voice.
We all do, Shardoll.
I don't think it's creepy.
Thoughts on the Warriors.
I don't think it's. You don't think it's creepy?
I think it's creepy.
Oh.
You don't think my voice is very You like hearing me talk?
You're getting creepy, like literally every second that's going by. You're getting creepy, Shardoll.
Sorry.
Let's go back to the Warriors and let's wrap it up with your final thoughts on the Warriors, please.
So viewers, make sure to click the like button, smash the subscribe button, ring that notification bell for Golden Days. In reference to the 1993 Matthew McConaughey movie Dazed and Confused, and also subscribe to the SGA Sports Talk channel.
Yeah,
I'm at 505 subscribers. I'm 95 subscribers away from 600. So if your viewers could click that like button, smash that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell, so you'll be updated next time I post another live video on my channel. I can't wait to join you for another Golden State Warriors post-game show. And for Thanksgiving, are you doing anything special? Having the family over for Thanksgiving? Are you gonna be cooking anything?
Is that a question for me?
Are you both gonna be doing it's first, so Sai, you can go first, and then Sharia can go second.
All right, I like that. Shardoll's like directing everything here. I don't know. I actually have. I think I'm gonna chill. I don't know if I have the energy or the just to do 5 hours of driving just to, I miss my family, but at the same time, that's a lot of driving. I don't know if I'm up for it. Sure. I know Sharia, you're going to your mother-in-law's, correct?
I'm going to my mother-in-law's, and I am not cooking.
I was gonna say, so that means you also don't have to cook and you don't have to clean. That's amazing. Bravo. Right? Shardoll, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
For Thanksgiving, I'm gonna be having the common stuff for Thanksgiving: turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, cranberry sauce, pecan pie.
Ooh, that's a nice touch.
With vanilla
Let's
ice cream.
This note with Shardoll. Sharia, I'll ask you first. What is your favorite food item on the Thanksgiving?
It depends.
platter?
We eat a lot of Jamaican food, so.
Give us an example, please, of at least one or two things.
It could be curry chicken. It could be fried snapper fish. It could be, like dishes like that.
Fried snapper fish. I don't think I've ever had that. So it's just all crispy?
Well, sometimes it's crispy and sometimes it's like broiled or grilled.
So I have two favorite Thanksgiving dishes that I really enjoy over the holidays. I love mashed potatoes, and I love a green bean casserole, a really good green bean casserole.
That's a wild card. That's a wild card, Shardoll. Green
Shuri, I think that if I compose myself on here and be as respectful as I get around, or be respectful around women, I think I could end up getting a partner one day if I compose myself and be as respectful to talking to the ladies up here talking to the ladies on the stream. I think I might end up getting a partner if I be respectful, don't be too obtrusive, don't be asking all types of weird questions to the ladies. I think I might get a partner one day. I mean, you never know. Keep being as good as I can and being as good as I look. I think I might get one.
Agreed.
I hear you.
And this is certainly not the place to explore that topic in detail, though. But you're absolutely right, Shardoll. Being respectful, listening, just being a gentleman. I think. I hope.
But it was great coming on the stream today. I'll definitely join you back here on
Saturday,
another
latest, right?
I'll join you on Saturday.
Right.
Let's take down the New Orleans Pelicans.
I hope they better.
Sai, I really love your sense of humor. I really love you're very entertaining.
You're
very warm.
So
you're the most
right
warmest person I've ever been on here. And every time I come on here, I feel like I can be very warm, and you're very opening to me. And every time I come on, you welcome me with open arms. And that's really the greatest thing I like about you, man. There's nothing else anybody would appreciate about you. You're the greatest person ever. Do you think Kuminga's going to
play Saturday? I appreciate you, Shardoll. Do you think Jonathan Kuminga's going to play Saturday?
Kuminga's going to play on Saturday, but
Yes.
but yeah,
we got the Shardoll assurance.
So I'm going to transition and end it with the little San Jose Sharks. So the San Jose Sharks
show Saturday. I will have your open ready for you. Your open's going to involve you being having one of the most envious positions in this world, being a stay-at-home son. I mean, that's my dream, and you're living it. You're living the dream, buddy. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm a stay-at-home son. Can I be a co-host? please.
You already are.
You are.
No, but I want to be in the chair that's Sharia is sitting in.
Well,
please.
We'll talk about.
But
it.
I've been asking you for so many times that can be a co-host, and you never got back to me.
Where Sharia's not here, and when she's not,
No, when Sharia's not here, can I be there? When Sharia's not there, can I be there?
Well, you already are. So
no,
so
I want to
yes,
sit in the
yes,
seat.
yes,
I want to get that honor of sitting in where Sharia's sitting. I want to be sitting there.
Like literally in New Jersey.
Literally in New Jersey, I want to be sitting there.
Sharia, are you cool with Shardoll coming to your living room and hanging out with your family and sitting?
Well, he'd have to ask my husband.
Yeah, we'll get back to you. Shardoll, have a great night, buddy.
I don't want to get involved in that. That's I shouldn't have gone there. I crossed the line. I'm sorry, Sharia. I crossed the line.
You're fine.
I don't want to come into somebody else's home. I've never talked to them before.
We're kidding.
Fine.
We know you're kidding, Shardoll.
I don't want. I'm not gonna do that ever. You know I'm not gonna do that.
We know you're good. Shardoll, go to Big Al's. Let them know what's up and that they need to cough up some money.
I'm gonna wear a suit and suit and tie and walk up to Big Al's and say, "Hi, my name is Shardoll Gupta. I'm a business executive for Golden Days. Can I have you? I would love you to sponsor this wonderful show on YouTube."
Yes.
And I'm gonna say that.
It never hurts to bring up Rick Barry's name too, because if we get the sponsorship, we'll tie him into that, and so that's a great lead-in. Say hi. I'm an account executive with the most viewed and listened to program that covers the Golden State Warriors, and on behalf of NBA Hall of Famer Rick Barry, we'd like you to be a part of the show.
It's great.
See, isn't that a great lead-in?
That's a great lead-in.
Sell the show, buddy. You can
I'm
make
gonna
some money
sell the
yourself.
show. I'm gonna sell the show,
Help
buddy.
me help you.
I'll help you, and you'll help me, and we'll work together.
Yes.
I'll see you next
Shardoll,
time.
love you, buddy. We'll see you Saturday.
Love you, buddy. See you Saturday.
Sounds good. That is the great Shardoll Gupta. Subscribe to his channel, SGA Sports Talk. The kid is above 500 right now, and we're pushing for 600. And Sharia, you handle that beautifully. Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Are you ready for a scoreboard check and call it a night after that?
Yeah, sure.
I think it was a quiet night in terms of the scoreboard. I could be wrong with that, but I don't think there were a lot of games. Let me double check here real fast. I stand corrected. There were a shitload of games. I was wrong. Forgive me. Well, the Detroit Pistons, Sharia, their winning streak got snapped tonight. They had a 13-game winning streak, a lot of NBA Cup action. This was one of them. The Boston Celtics beating the Pistons 117-114 in Boston. The Celtics improving to 10-8. They're competitive this season despite not having Jason Tatum. The Pistons dropped to 15-3. Kate Cunningham, 42 points, 8 rebounds in the loss. Jaylen Brown, 33 points, 10 rebounds in the win. I know the Celtics are pretty close to you. Detroit's not that far, certainly not far compared to me. What's the hype from your perspective, Sharia, on the Celtics and the Pistons, if any? Maybe not. I mean,
I think the Pistons are good.
Damn good.
I think the Pistons are good. I try to watch the Celtics, but it's kind of just a snooze. It's not the same. It just seems disconnected. No, but I do like
boring.
watching the Pistons. The Pistons are good.
If I keep forgetting, we are going to absolutely have a show Friday because Friday's happy hour. So Armando Laura is going to join us for that Friday. And then we'll do a post-game show Saturday as well. I don't know why I thought of that right now, but just a friendly reminder. We will be back Friday for an episode, and Armando Laura is going to join us. And you're absolutely right. The Boston Celtics, to me, like I saw the game on TV, and after 5 minutes, I was bored. There was nothing riveting about the Boston Celtics, but they won. And they're in the playoff hunt this year. The New York Knicks, a team far closer to you, Sharia. They were winners tonight in Charlotte, 129-101. The final, the Knicks improved to 11-6. The Hornets dropped to 4-14. Josh Hart, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists in the win. Brandon Miller, whose name I haven't uttered once this season, and that's kind of crazy. I had high hopes for him, the former number 2 pick, but haven't had any reason to bring him up, and now I'm curious about Brandon Miller on the year. I mean, that's a guy that I was really excited for. Let me see. So on the season, Brandon Miller, this is year 3, and he's putting up 16.7 points per game. Is it crazy to you? This is a real stat. He's only played 3 games this season, so I'm guessing he was injured for a lot of it, because he's only averaging 0.3 rebounds per game. God. I'm guessing he's grabbed 1 rebound like total all year. It was 5. He's grabbed 5 rebounds for the whole year.
How many games has he played? 3?
Now 4. Tonight marked 4. So that's an anemic rebounding total. I think he's averaging about that's going to go up a little bit. But yeah, Brandon Miller. Were you on the same train of thought as I was, at least until seeing this, that I expected more from him?
I haven't really paid him much attention, just to be honest.
I don't blame you.
Not this year. I haven't.
I don't blame you. I thought we would be. Anyways, well, the Charlotte sucks. What else is new?
Right.
The Miami Heat were winners tonight. Tyler Hero's back. 106-103, the final over the Milwaukee Bucks at home. Hero had 29 points and 7 assists in Miami. Ryan Rollins, who's having a hell of a year, that continued tonight in the loss. 26 points and 7 rebounds. Could you imagine if Ryan Rollins was on the Warriors?
Yes. Yes.
That stings.
Yes.
Because because right now here's what my brain is, the imagery my brain is producing right now. A side-by-side comparison of Ryan Rollins and Brandon Podziemski. And in no world would I take Podziemski. Under no circumstance would I prefer Brandon Podziemski to Ryan Rollins. Yet we don't have him.
Nope. We have to watch it. We have to hear about it and play against it.
Armando Laura in our chat, by the way, saying, I like when the Rockets just reach out and grab rebounds over Warriors guards. And that literally happened on so many possessions tonight.
So many possessions. I'm like, oh, goodness.
And Podziemski's supposed to be like one of the guys who doesn't let that happen. It was happening to him. There was at least one where I remember Almond just was like, nope. That's not supposed to happen in the NBA, but it happens to the Warriors. God damn it. Anyways, okay, let's finish up the scores. The Indiana Pacers dropped to 2-16. They lost across the border in Canada to the Toronto Raptors, who are shocking. At least me. I did not expect this. Sure.
No, I told you they're having a good time. Remember, you said something the other day about them, and I'm like, they're having a good time.
And the record shows it, 14-5. Jesus, that's a damn good. And look, I know I was watching something or listening to, I can't remember. I was watching, listening to a million things, but somebody was talking about the fact that the strength of schedule has been in their favor. And so basically, and now I'm curious. So the Toronto Raptors are second in the Eastern Conference with that 14-5 record. They trailed just the Detroit Pistons. But when you look at who they played to get that 14-5 record, it does make a little more sense. I'll just read the teams off to you. The first 19 games of the year for Toronto: Atlanta, Milwaukee, Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, Cleveland, Memphis, Milwaukee, Atlanta, Philadelphia, Brooklyn, Cleveland, Indiana, Charlotte, Philadelphia, Washington, Brooklyn. And they keep beating Cleveland in these matchups. They played Cleveland 3 times already.
Cleveland plays very disconnected. I don't know what it is with them this year.
Well, they've also, I think the main thing is they've been missing Darius Garland for a bulk of the season, and he makes a huge difference for them. But yeah, they've beaten Cleveland 3 times this year, and then their most recent win was Indiana. So that is a weak-ass schedule. So we'll find out for certain just how good they are soon, because when they start seeing a stretch of games against Western Conference teams, yeah, things are gonna change. But still, 14-5. I mean, look, that's impressive. That's bravo. Well, they won tonight too, 97-95. They improved to 14-5. Scotty Barnes, 24 points, 10 rebounds in the win. TJ McConnell, 16 points, 7 boards, 6 assists in the loss for the 2-win Indiana Pacers. Just to read off to you some names for Toronto in terms of why they're as good as they are. Brandon Ingram, that signing has been paying off for him. He had 26 points tonight. Emmanuel Quickley had 15 points tonight. Off the bench, I don't know who Jacoby Walter is, but he had 13 points. This is great. I thought Grady Dick was one of the reasons why they were so good, but Grady Dick tonight played just 7 minutes and had 0 points.
Yeah, he doesn't get that much time.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh, yeah. That's so are you seem to have like it sounds like you've watched a few of their games. Am
I just watch the highlights and I read
Okay.
up on them and I hear about them, you know?
Yeah, that's definitely like the biggest surprise to me so far.
It was to me too, but they
Yeah.
started making noise, so I started kind of tuning in.
Yeah, that's impressive. The OKC Thunder have improved to 18-1 on the season. The Warriors' 73-win regular season mark very much in jeopardy if the Thunder continue this pace. They win tonight 113-105 over the Timberwolves. Another NBA Cup game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, to me, Sharia, who are your favorites for MVP? Because I was about to say SGA is my favorite, but then I'm thinking like, well, Luka's also having a hell of a season.
It's too early. It's too early. It's
It is
just too early
Cade
for me.
Cunningham. Who are the candidates though? It's like Cade Cunningham, SGA, Luka,
the Joker.
That's a good one. I mean, Wemby was early, but then he got hurt, and I don't think he's in the running at the moment.
No, he's not. I think
anyone in
he's
the chat. Anyone else? Armando. Oh, Pods got fouled. Flop. Stop making me laugh so much. That is funny. All right, let's finish this up. Again, OKC improving to 18-1. The T-Wolves dropping to 10-8. Another final. This one in overtime. The Memphis Grizzlies beating the New Orleans Pelicans. This is the Warriors' next opponent. 133-128. The final. New Orleans in town Saturday. For what will hopefully be a game that puts the Warriors back above 500. Zach Edey, 21 points, 15 rebounds in the win. Jose Alvarado, 24 points in the loss. Two more, and we're out of here. The San Antonio Spurs, 115-102 winners tonight over the Portland Trailblazers in Portland. De'Aaron Fox, 37 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists in the win. Denny Avdia, who's been putting up big numbers this year, 37 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists in the loss. And last, and maybe least, the Suns at the Kings. Hold on, Sharia. Nope, no beam tonight. The Phoenix Suns defeat the Kings 112-100 in Sacramento. Mark Williams, who's been a pleasant surprise for him. This was the center that the LA Lakers had second thoughts about and rescinded that trade. He had 21 points, 16 rebounds, 3 steals in the win for the Suns. The Kings were led by Keegan Murray, who had 19 points and 8 rebounds. Sacramento drops to 5-14 on the year. I mentioned a moment ago, Sharia, that the Raptors, at least to me, were the biggest surprise of the season so far. Phoenix, a close second. They are now 12-7 on the season. Incredible that the moment they ditch Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal, they're good. That's some wild shit to me. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I told you. I said the same thing. They're clicking. I said that they have chemistry.
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks and Booker have chemistry. Like, they are clicking.
There you go. James Bohm in our chat, and they are clicking. You're absolutely right. Saying that Bill Simmons thought the Warriors should have taken Denny Avdia at the time. Yeah, Larry Krueger was really advocating for him too. He would have looked good in a Warriors uniform. That is now I think Bohm, you're referencing when Denny Avdia was traded from the Wizards, and I don't think Portland even gave up much for him either. That was. I'm gonna look that up real fast. Who did Denny Avdia? Forget it. I don't want to look that up. I think that's it. Are we done, Sharia? Any final thoughts?
No, when you just said who's steering the ship up there at Golden State? I just don't understand what's going on. It's like we've given up all these people that we could have had, and we're left with this. And everyone else that we could have had is just excelling everywhere else. And I'm like, well, who? I know it's the GM that's making the decisions, the Levy,
the
but
owners making the
the owners. But
it's
good
Joe's
God.
calling all the shots. Yeah,
I don't get it. What's the method behind this madness? Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, again, the question posed to Kerr tonight. And his answer, I thought, was crazy but revealing, which is that, the question was posed, what is this team's identity? And his answer again was the Bill Parcells line: "You are what your record is," and so the Warriors are average. Great. And again, this is the part that at least to me sucks. They're going to get through this rough part of the schedule, right?
Yeah.
And then they're going to get a bunch of easy games, and this is going to start like the Warriors' schedule in December is so. January, it's going to be on cruise control. Tons of home games, tons of easy Eastern Conference opponents. And then you're going to have Steve Kerr coming out going, "We're fine. We're great. Look at the record. We're now 10 games below 500." And it's going to come at the expense of these weak-ass teams. And they're going to just keep going to the postseason, relying off the weak scheduled games, thinking that's who the Warriors are. I've been seeing this script for like 2-3 years now, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. But they got to do something. There's got to be some sort of change in terms of who plays, right? Like that's and let's hope DeAnthony Melton comes back.
Yeah, because we can't keep running Steph in the ground. He was limping prior to the last mishap.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You're
absolutely right. Well, everybody, thank you. Have a happy Thanksgiving. I mean, tomorrow's
You
Turkey
too.
Day. Is turkey the main entree for your meal, or is Jamaican Thanksgiving?
She usually does everything. She does American food, but mainly Jamaican food. But she does everything.
Jamaican food's good.
Mm-hmm.
Jamaican food's good. Someone in the chat, I think Julian Bashir, keeps bringing up James Wiseman. The one problem with that is, I don't think Wiseman's ready to play. Keep in mind he's recovering from that Achilles injury. I could be mistaken on that. I have not done my research recently in regards to James Wiseman, but I do know the Pacers cut him at least partly because of the fact that he wasn't going to be ready anytime soon, and I don't know if he's ready now. I could also tell you this: if the Seth Curry signing is not happening because the Warriors are having second thoughts and they're maybe looking at a different player, there are still quite a few bigs out there. And Armando Laura and I can talk about that Friday and so much more. But the Seth Curry thing, the mystery behind that is perplexing, because mainly from my perspective, because no one's asking about it. No one's investigating it. No one's bringing it up. It's just like this. It's like this elephant in the room that no one wants to touch. It's bizarre. I don't get it. Oh, wait, we do have Al Horford. Armando reminded us. Thank you. Good job on that. Yeah, reminding us that the Warriors picked Al Horford and spent $5.5 million on him over Clint Capella. Yeah, that's a good call. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Sharia, have a happy Thanksgiving.
You too, and be safe.
You too, and don't let work kick your ass, because you're back on the clock, right? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I'm only gonna do two to 3 days a week. I'm gonna go back and forth. Yeah, I'll probably do two 1 week. 3 1 week. I'll go back and forth.
Congrats on having the freedom and the flexibility to be able to do that. And I got one last soundbite I'm going to play before we go. This is for all the folks who think I go too far with Steve Kerr, with Brandon Podziemski. Look, sometimes we just I mean, sometimes I never hate out of just for the sake of it. There's usually a damn good reason behind the criticism. Are we done? Is that it?
That's it.
Thanks, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.